Hey, everybody. How is everybody doing? Yeah, my body's not ready. Me either, Chance. Me either. So, as you guys might quickly deduce, I'm feeling under the weather this week. So, in case my voice sounds weird, no, it's not a new microphone. It's me, and I'm hopped up on some quercetin here to help me get through, and we'll see if I can make it here. And if I got to tap out for a little while, I'm going to tap out for a little while. But that's that. Anyway, uh, other than that, oh boy, no, I'm not ready for this. Um, we got today. We're going to be talking about homebrewing a world. So I don't know what you guys think about that stuff, but we got to throw up the Emperor's Choice thing here. They're they're sending me some stuff. They mailed out a package that went second day air, and that was about 5 days ago. And
you could drive it here in 3 hours.
It's out for delivery. With the weekend, I guess it just by the time they dropped it off on the day, it didn't count till the next day, and so that next day was like Thursday when they officially received the package, even though it shipped on Wednesday.
Is it out for delivery today?
So then Friday was the first day of shipment, and Monday is the second day of shipment, and somehow it's out for delivery today.
You have a perfect thing here. You can live stream us your camera as the mailman throws it at your front steps.
Yes, please do.
We all watch it live.
The M5000.
It's crazy, right? But yeah, they are sending some stuff, and so that so we will have some stuff to give away and stuff. Yeah, let Dan do the talking. He's usually right anyway.
That's actually why he had me come on, Edgelord. He was like, just in case I can't talk anymore,
yeah,
I'll message you and you can just be my voice. And I was like, okay.
So, yeah, so hopefully that stuff will show up today. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's a good video. Maybe we'll see if we can put it on the stream. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. I don't think it's a great idea to add. I don't know if I can add the source from there, but you know, I don't know if streaming my doorbell is a great idea. Oh, did we lose Jason?
He did say in the chat that his internet was crap.
Yeah, I saw this. So. Internet was starting to crap out. Well, so yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Other than that, I did add some chat commands and stuff in there. So I don't know if this works, but if I go like that should post some stuff. Hey, look at that. That's fantastic.
Sure.
It worked. My God. Okay. So I got some stuff this week. And there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about too, but one, I really got to stop backing stuff. I know we were talking about this off stream a little bit about, you know, buying stuff that we don't need and buying extra copies of stuff. It's interesting, right? But well, Edgelord, you're a little late on that comment.
I'll always come back for you.
But I bought some. I backed some Goodman Games stuff. I was missing a couple of their Tome of Adventure books, and so I got a couple of those that I was missing. I don't remember even which ones I got. I think it was the horror one and the maybe Empire of the East. I'm not sure. They're behind me over. Yeah, they're over there behind me. I can't see them, so I'm not going to pull those down. But I got the sequel to How to Write Adventure Modules That Don't Suck. This is How to Write Even Better Adventures. Just got a bunch of short adventures in here written by a bunch of industry people. James Spahn and Brendan LaSalle. What's that?
Have you read it?
Yeah. Well, I read the first
it's,
one.
It's not short adventures though. It's
Oh, it's not.
It's essays talking about
Okay.
design.
Because the first one,
I've got the original one.
yeah, the original one has some short adventures. Well, yeah, right. It's got essays and then it's got a short like adventure that kind of explains that thing there. So yeah, that's what you're right. You're right. This is I guess this is more the first one I thought had more adventures in it.
I don't know.
The first one's
thought that
all essays.
Had like an article and then there was like a short adventure of like how it worked. This looks like it's more article based.
I got the original one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's been a long time since I read it. When I took it with me to work one day when I first got it and read it in one day, and then it's sat on my shelf since. No, you're right. It's got
like a few maps and like kind of discussions about it. A couple of encounters.
They're listed as encounters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So each person talks about it and then makes like an encounter.
Yeah. Whereas this one, it looks like it's just it's mostly articles and stuff. But there's some cool, some cool people in here. Robin Laws, Ed Greenwood, Alex Kammer, James Bond, stuff like that. So that's cool. Edgelord didn't like the original one. I liked it. I liked it. Yeah. Oh boy. We gotta spray some some deer repellent on there or something.
Yeah, I don't think anything is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Or maybe you just bury that cable.
It is extremely long, at least 300 yards long. Yeah. Spectrum is not a great internet company. No. What are you going to do?
Yeah. That's interesting. Did the chat overlay screw up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dan.
How's it going, guys?
See how do we do this? There we go. Because I'm back.
Fortunately, Jason dropped out and came back,
it's me.
so I'm no longer in the last spot. So I'm not covered up now.
Nope.
Yep.
Oh my God! It is not supposed to. It is not supposed to do that.
It doesn't bother me. It'll keep me from staring at myself when I talk all night. So it's fine.
So yeah.
There you go. There you go. Oh, well. You got it.
Yeah, sort of. It's sort of it's small now.
Better than it was.
It is.
No,
what?
That's worse.
Oh God damn it.
I love Restream. Oh my God.
I'm gonna blame Dan for this.
I'm not touching shit, dude. I'm not even touching my mouse. My hands are up here.
You must have touched it. All right. So if I move this to here, it does that shit.
Yep.
It automatically does it. If I hit overlay off, it automatically goes to a smaller thing there.
Weird. Can you just drag that taller?
No, because as soon as I touch it,
damn it. I tried.
I didn't even do that. I just moved.
No, I did that.
I
tried
that.
It. Yeah, I wanted to try.
As soon as you do that, it automatically goes to.
Well, that's weird. What the hell, Restream? Yeah. It's like it just magically stopped docking.
Oh my God! All right.
That's okay.
All right. Well, this isn't gonna work. That's
now he's just hiding everybody. Praise
all right.
There we go. It's fine.
Okay. All right. We'll just have to deal with it like this, I guess. Crazy times. All right. What did I miss? I missed Great Hat. Okay.
Yeah.
Chthonic Musings. Handsome guys.
Well, and Chthonic Musings got his Zathaqua hat. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's an important hat. I recommend covering it in red Sonia buttons. It lets everybody know that you're a turbo nerd, and your head can also be protected by redheads and chainmail bikinis.
Yeah. I mean, if you got, shot at or something, I mean, there's, it would probably get deflected.
I'm not willing to take that bet. I know an awful lot about ballistics. I'm going to go ahead and pass.
Yeah. No, that's probably a good idea. So other than that, I'm gonna stop looking at that because I'm gonna end up touching it again, and it's gonna be bad. Other than that, I got a copy of the Monster Alphabet. This is big. This is like real big. Like I put it behind the mic. Pretty.
Is that like an A4 book, or is that like one of their 11 by 17 gigantic books?
No, it's I think it's like a B4 or something. It's a weird size. So like, here's that. So, yeah, it's a weird.
I've got the dungeon alphabet.
Not quite half. What's that?
Did you get the dungeon alphabet?
Yeah, I have that one.
This one they only sent PDF. There was no hard copy.
Really?
But it's small. I mean, I printed it. It's 46 pages. So I don't know. When I got it, this came as a PDF. It came with the adventure one, the Adventurer's Almanac. This thing. Oh, I didn't get a print copy of that.
Yeah, that's the print copy. And then I've got the Monster Alphabet and the Cthulhu Alphabet, and then this one I got obviously because of the cover art. It's an Earl Otis.
I figured, yeah.
So yeah.
Edgelord says the alphabet books suck too.
So you bought it just for the cover art and you sit it on your shelf.
Well, yeah, because I already have a regular size copy, and I really like the art.
Same problem we all.
Yeah, so I bought it for the cover art.
You're a little worse.
And I don't know, because I backed this thing on BackerKit and it came with, I got a better deal buying more stuff, or at a higher tier or whatever.
Yes.
I ended up getting a copy of the core book with the DCC core book with William McOsterland cover. But so this is the 14th printing, and this is something I didn't realize because I don't follow DCC a whole lot anymore. But the book is smaller than thinner than the other DCC books. And I noticed right away that the paper is thinner. So here's the compare. So the larger one is the normal DCC book, and then this is the 14th printing.
What they do go from like 80 weight down to like 25 weight laser printer paper.
They went down from 70 pound to which is about a 28 pound bond, which is what I like, down to like a 70 pound, which is closer to like a 24 pound bond, which is still okay. But I mean, we're halfway to, cheap printer paper at this point. I mean, 20 pound bond, which is 50 pound is standard copy paper. So I definitely don't want to see that. But yeah, I'll definitely complain that the paper quality is not good. Now, if you look on their site, it's a part of some initiative where, save the environment type of thing that they're doing, and they're trying to use more eco-friendly things. They're using like friendlier inks and all that stuff too.
More environment for the data centers.
More environment for the data centers.
Or they're full of crap and they just got a new printer and that's all they could get.
Mm-hmm.
Or that. I don't know.
Or they're saving money.
Yep. But it sounds good. They're
could
saving environment. Sounds good.
So that's what I got. No gaming this week. Just been sick, so I haven't done any gaming. Andy, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for staying up late just to see us for a few minutes. And so I guess we'll go right around. Stan, what about you? You get anything cool this week, or?
I got a few things. So this actually, that's the end. I got my, can't see on the wrong screen, sorry. I got my Kickstarter for Adventures Dark and Deep.
Oh, nice.
Book of Lost Lore 2. That came, and when I ordered that, I ordered this. which is Langard is the capital city for the Duchy of Ashlar, which is Raging Swans, one of their part of their setting. So this is all just adventure. It's locations and adventure frames. So they do a really good job of that stuff. So. And what else? Oh, I got these came today. I got this deck of cards, and this is for, you could use these probably for any game really, but these are actually made for the Tales of Argotha game, and they're NPC cards. So the front of the card gives you, okay, this guy's a brigand. He has an evil laugh. He's also a sexist, and he's exiled from a distant place. And then you flip it over, and it gives you a
Was that me?
I was going to say,
That's you.
I didn't know I was on a card.
And I call him Dan Raja, and yeah, so you get name stuff. So that's for their. That was printed through drive-through actually. So I didn't even get a ship notice. It just showed up on my box. So today.
Oh, cool.
Came in this fancy plastic case. If I can get them back in there. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And then
They came in the case from drive-through. That's nice.
Yeah. The last set I got of cards just came in
tuck
boxes. They came in a printed
Yeah.
box, cardboard box. But these came in this plastic.
Oh,
one.
that's way handier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe they're up in their game.
Then I got this. This showed up this after probably an hour ago.
Yeah, Gathering of Heroes. Yeah, it's cool stuff.
So I got that. Look at that. And I did. We played Dragon Slayer on Thursday. My son's game. It was good.
Nice. Fantastic. How about you, Dan? You got
Yeah, I had one thing come in. It was a Lulu order that so I got two things. I got two categories of things. I got Blue Home because I wanted it, and it was cheap. And
that's the Journeyman.
Yeah,
the
that's
rules,
Journeyman rules. I also picked up. This kind of leads into the other stuff. I grabbed Iron Falcon because I've been going down an OD&D rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a whole bunch of pretty cheap OD&D stuff off of Lulu. I got Littlest Brown Book and its 2 supplements. I've been reading that.
Oh, cool. Yep.
Perilous Realms. This is amazing. There's like tons of stuff in here that I'm going to steal. Like the fighting ability for fighting men. It lets them split their base attack bonus up onto different attacks. So if you have +4 to hit, you can make 1+3 and 1+1 attack, or 4+1 attacks. So I'm definitely stealing that. This is definitely a 100% legit copy of Planet Eris from the only North Texas that it was available at, and definitely not one that I had custom printed myself on Lulu from the PDF.
Yeah.
In case anyone asks.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the CAG Discord, the Classic Adventure Gaming, but they focus very heavily on OD&D and AD&D, and they turned me on to 7 Voyages of Xylarthan.
Oh, yeah.
So I got that and the Mega Dungeon for it that just came out. So got some fun reading to do.
That's cool.
Because OD&D is cool.
I'm curious about that 7 Voyages, and I'm curious about the little brown books.
Yeah. Well, the little brown books are like $4 each. They're super cheap.
Yeah.
So, but and then gaming wise, I murdered Jeff last night in my Monday night game. He got mauled by a saber-toothed tiger, which was hilarious because he cast Levitate thinking it was a get out of jail free card, and then realized that the movement rate was only 10. And I had previously described the tiger as about 10 to 12 feet long and over 1,000 pounds. So
he moved 10 feet in the air, and then the thing lunged
the
at him.
tiger jumped at him and hit with both claw attacks, which triggered its dual back claw rake, and he had like 12 hit points, so he got wasted. It was awesome.
Nice.
So that was great. But then the other gaming I did was Chubby Funster's Saturday game of Gods of the Forbidden North, which my dear friend Roger here recently joined and then missed last week. And then we TPK'd, so I blame him.
I think I missed a good one.
If by good you mean we died. Because That book is definitely best described as the Rob Alderman pain train.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that was my biggest issue with backing that.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it up before, the big giant adventure. You know, forget about the fact it's $300 if you buy it now, but $300 for an adventure that very few people are ever going to finish. And I know, like Chubby said, he loved it, but I saw he posted already that, you know, after this TPK, it's now on to Dolmenwood.
Yeah.
Which just kind of proves the point. I mean, you got this giant adventure that very few people are ever going to finish. And I think after a period of time in it, once there's a TPK or something, most people will probably move on to something different.
Yeah, and we debated about it for about an hour after we all died. And, you know, there was some back and forth. Like some of us were curious about Dolmenwood, but the general consensus was it's really, really deadly. I know Chubby pulled a few punches that were exceedingly deadly in a few instances. Not pulled a few punches, but maybe, you know, he changed a few things from how they are in the book. But
he did a video about that, about how the encounters were. Some of those encounters were way more than what the party at that level should be able to handle. Like way more.
Yeah, the story is awesome, Chubby. But I mean, it was fun. I was really digging the world. I was very much digging, you know, the dwarf cleric I was playing and everything that was going on. And there's just so much to do that one of the guys, Dave, mentioned that he kind of felt like we were almost a bit aimless because there was so much to do that he felt like he didn't really know what we were kind of quote unquote supposed to be doing. So, because I mean, it's massive. Book 1's the overworld, book 2 is the underworld, and I think book 3 is all of the giant ass mega dungeon on the far north of the continent. And like, we didn't even touch that, and we were like, I think barely getting into book 2 because we were in some of the, you know, subterranean dungeon type areas. But yeah,
I wonder if it's something like where you like you were just saying, like you had that player that was like wondering what they should do. Well, what do you want to do?
Well, and yeah,
That's
we
what
were
you should
doing
do.
a lot of that, but like we hadn't found anything that was kind of like we had a ton of leads. Greg had a handout in Roll20 called Notes for Forgetful Folks, which was fun. Like with all the different like bounty boards and quest hooks and that sort of thing. But there's just so much to do that there's almost this feeling of like FOMO, right? Like if I do this, am I missing out on that type of thing?
Right.
So
yeah.
I
definitely want to circle back to Gods of the Forbidden North because that's something that I wanted to talk about after. But
yeah,
yeah, Unbalanced on Playtest OSR product. Never heard of such a thing. Yeah. Jason, how about you? What do you got? Everything come in this week?
All I ordered last week was that basic fantasy equipment guide because everyone was raving about it. It's pretty good. Cost me I think it was $6.48 was the total off Amazon. Man, yeah, it's nice. You know, it's still basic fantasy. It's basic, but there's a huge assortment of equipment in there. So certainly worth $6.50.
I don't see any reason why you can't use that book exactly as it is in just about any LSR game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you might want to change it a little if you're playing Shadowdark because gold values are much lower.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh, sure.
But otherwise, you know, any other game, it would be probably just a 1-to-1 drop in.
Here's the big question though: is there a Lucerne hammer in it?
I didn't look. I will check though. It's right next to me. I will check after I'm done talking. The only other thing that I got was a book that I ordered today, which I'm not going to talk about until I get it, because I am very excited to get this book and I can't wait to show it to everybody. And I'm done.
Yeah, cool. Stan mentioned in the private chat about Deathbringer. Yeah, let me copy that. He's on it's on BackerKit and it was almost $500,000. Or is it over now?
It's over.
Broke it. Yeah. So I think he's definitely going to be able to retire there. I'll put the link there. That's to Deathbringer there, which is Professor Dungeon Master's kind of a game that he's been working on there for a while. Mike, how about you?
Nothing.
Nothing come in.
Got nothing.
Um,
No gaming, no new products, nothing.
So it's interesting. So today we're talking about homebrewing world, and this is something that obviously a lot of these topics, stuff that I ponder or whatnot. No Lucerne hammer.
No, just the generic pole arm. Yep.
Yeah, just
pole arm does D10.
I thought that they had a list there.
No,
but
just
maybe not.
Yeah, spears and pole arms, and under pole arm it just says pole arm. So there you go.
Nice. Yeah, Chubby says Professor DM illustrates marketing is the most important aspect of your product design. And if you don't accept that, you'll fall in obscurity. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and Mike, I think you kind of hit this on the head. We're talking about Gods of the Forbidden North, but homebrewing a world, right? Like I've always been a bigger proponent of homebrewing a world rather than buying into a pre-made world, and for several reasons, right? There's a bunch of reasons that I'll get into later, but you brought up something really, really interesting, I think, with Gods of the Forbidden North. And that's like with especially something like that, that's a $300 full setting thing. Like, what do you do when you only get through a third of it and you TPK and then everybody's kind of, soured on it or stale? Now you've got all this money into this, into this one setting or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, we tried it, we did it. And now it's, and now it's done, and you almost got to do like try and do the math on it. You know what I mean? And okay, if you got 5 players and you can play, 10 sessions or whatever, you know what I mean? And you figure out what that cost is.
Oh, that's why this is better.
Sure, going from module to module.
If we were still in the area of having drop-in modules rather than everybody trying to create huge settings.
Sure.
Sure.
Because then you can have your own kind of homebrew. And that's where I like to be. I like having my own homebrew world. I could do my own kind of lore, my own kind of backstory. I can pull things from here and there. And then, if I need to, or I could take those modules and just put an X on the map and say, I want to run Tomb of Horrors at some point. Well, guess what? Here's my map. That's where the Tomb of Horrors is.
Yeah. I mean, if you're like, I don't know. I think if you're like a lot of us, an adventure like that will probably last you 2 to 3 sessions. As an average rule, most of those drop-in ones, 2 to 3 sessions. If you're doing, say, a 4 to 5 hour session like we do.
Sure.
Nobody's going to get bored of it. You do 3 sessions, they're going to look forward to it. They're going to and it allows you to wrap up a storyline or maybe expand on that storyline and go on to something else with it. But I do very much prefer smaller site-based adventures rather than a whole epic campaign.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of my thing, that's one reason, right? To definitely do, something like that. And you can, change things up easily. One of the other things for me is then you're beholden to, the lore and everything that's out there. I mean, you could change stuff, sure. But nobody likes to do that, partway through the game, saying, oh, okay, let's, we're going to change this backstory or we're going to change this thing. And I mean, I guess it depends on what you're doing,
I think we're talking about 2 different things here, though. You can have the common thing everybody talks about, Forgotten Realms. It's overdone. There's too many novels. There's too much lore to it. But you can run a Forgotten Realms campaign, and you can as a DM introduce that lore as you see fit.
Sure.
If you're not in a mega adventure where they're stuck in that, if you're doing small stuff, you can introduce it how you want. It doesn't
matter, right?
Right. If you don't like an area that they're playing in, you can always, hey, we're going to wrap this one up and I'm going to move them somewhere else and I'm going to do something else with it. Where when you get into something like Gods of the Forbidden North, you're tied to their setting and adventure.
Right.
So when you grow bored of it, it's kind of you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater. It all goes out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like the Forgotten Realms too.
But even if you're doing your own homebrew, it's that same principle applies. You could do your homebrew, you can have your lore, you can do all that stuff, and even if the adventure goes south, you get a TPK. Well, maybe you just start them somewhere else in your world.
Right.
A whole new piece of lore and keep going with it.
I've done that plenty of times.
It's hard to do that with a big published adventure.
It's especially ones, and I don't think Gods of Forbidden North is specifically this, but it's harder to do that with something that has a large overarching story to it. Where if you have a TPK and you have new characters, like they don't have the connection that the original characters have, where it's like, who cares? Like the original group had this, when they had this reason that they're coming here and they found this thing and they're like following this plot line because, they found whatever, their favorite bartender got murdered. And then, so they're trying to follow, who did it. And it's some big bad evil wizard or whatever. Right. And then, but then like, once all those players are dead and all these new people are brought in, like they have no connection to this bartender anymore. So like, why, they don't have that connection to the story anymore.
I guess for me, because I do that. Like I have my own setting and I've used it for the last 3 campaigns. And yeah, I guess what would happen if we had a TPK right now is I'd have to ask them if they wanted to still pursue that, what they're doing. There is an overall quest to it. Like there's other stuff on the side and they're free to go wherever they want and pursue what they want, but they've all settled on the idea of we're going to go after this guy and stop him. And I'm like, okay, great. So if they wanted to do that still, I would have to come up with a reason for their new characters to be interested in doing that. And, and then the ramifications if they don't do that, right? Because it's, bad things can happen if they don't. They just let that
we ran into that exact issue in Roger's campaign. The original party, while I was playing my cleric, there was this bad guy off to the east in his military encampment. He was the Count. That's all we knew him as, really. And after that party died or retired, I think Yohai was the only one to actually retire. Everybody else died. So we all, we made new characters and carried on. We never encountered or interacted with that guy ever again. And he was supposed to be part, as far as I know, he was like part of the overreaching plot. We just totally ignored it and then carried on doing other stuff. And I, like, because I was playing in both parts of that, I kind of wonder, okay, so what was supposed to happen? What was the big bad going to do? What was the final boss fight going to be like? But, my character didn't give a crap about the Count or what he was doing or, all his machinations. It didn't matter. And then, it was kind of weird because like the whole party did like a total pivot away, and it just like that spark never really caught up again. So it's got to be some kind of psychology term for it, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Shellback says that's kind of why there should be a stable of characters. And Chubby said a huge problem with late game TPKs with written products that all low level content is exhausted, right? So the GM has to create a ton of new content to get the PCs back up. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The only like solution to that is to have like a regenerating area or something like that. I started doing that with more of my newer campaigns. But I just have some players that couldn't like wrap their head around it. Like I had this, not that they couldn't wrap their head around it, but like I had this starting area, right? That I was like, okay, here's going to be this area. And my idea was, there's this island where there was like an arcane laboratory and exploded, and like the ground and like shit's gone bad, and there's goblins like there, and they're just like evil, but there's this fruit that grows there, right? Because of like this whole combination of these things that happen, right? So it's just one unique kind of place, and And so like the idea is the players like could go there and they like beat up a bunch of goblins and they go in the thing and then the town will pay them for like so many of these fruits that they find and come back. And those fruits they can use to make healing potions, which can then get resold, to the players or whatever. So it's kind of like, forms a basis of the economy there. And I thought that was great because the reward was good enough for first level, characters to go there and kind of do, they could go there, they could get a level or two. They're only fighting goblins or wolves. It's not, completely, awful. And then they can come back and they can get a decent reward and, they can, level up and then they'll have access to be able to buy healing potions, or even some of their other characters can buy healing potions and stuff. But then, but I've got these players like, and I've tried to tell them like you can't like, don't go over there and like kill all the goblins. Like if you kill search out every goblin and kill them all, you'll disrupt the cycle. Like it's done. Like, because they have some part in this, and, but like I had players that like, and I tried to tell them, you're not like, this is what it is. Right. But I've had players that just wanted to go over there and not just upset the ecology, but like take over like everything. They're like, oh, well, we want to take these and we want to try and replant them.
Yeah. They wanted to make a magic mushroom farm.
Right. And I'm like, no, you can't replant them. Like these circumstances, like the stuff that's happened is, like it's so unique that it only grows here, and they were like, oh, well, we want to, we want to try and do all this stuff. And it was like just to take over the whole, the whole system. And it's like, no, that's not going to happen. So that was like my idea for having like a continual kind of low level area. And I still like the idea of doing that. And I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I kind of like some video games, they do, MMOs, they'll do a thing where you have, like some invasion or whatever that's going on, but it like, I don't know. It just seems weird to me that you'll forever have, orcs at the Western Gate, I don't know. It's just a weird, like, with something like that, you'll get higher level characters that would just go over there and just wipe them all out.
Yeah, the MMOs are not role-playing games.
Right. No. Right. You're right. And I'm not trying to.
It's meant to be reusable content for every low level to come through.
Right. I just wish that there was like an easier way to do that in the tabletop and in a way that makes sense.
Clearly, Mike's never done ERP in the Goldshire Inn.
I've played way too much and way too many MMOs over the years. I am fucking currently subbed to EverQuest Legends right now.
I'm currently subbed to 0 MMOs, but I have many tens of thousands of hours in a WoW in my life.
Yeah, it's I played a lot of WoW, but I played a lot more EverQuest.
Really? Yeah.
My wife and I played that since 1999.
Nice.
We still play it together.
I spent 10 years playing ESO on top of WoW and EverQuest and Asheron's Call.
I couldn't get into ESO. I played a lot of WoW, played a lot of EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, Star Wars Galaxies, all the older stuff. The newer stuff doesn't do it for me. Seriously, once they went to a free-to-play model for most games, it really changed how the games play.
Mm-hmm.
It destroyed Star Wars, what the old Republic, Star Wars TOR.
Yeah.
As soon as it went free to play, the player base just tanked. Very disappointing. Anyway, back to the subject.
Yeah.
We're all over the place. We always are. Roger's just too doped up right now to wrangle us in.
I don't necessarily know, though,
true.
like what Roger was saying. I don't necessarily know that it's that hard of a thing to do in a tabletop, though.
That's what I was about to say.
I mean, you've got your orcs at the gate, but once the players eliminate that situation, they shouldn't be there anymore. That's all.
Right. But what I mean is then let's say like they eliminate that situation, right? So now the players level up, and then there's a TPK, and so now you need, like Chubby was saying, if a new group comes in, you need lower level stuff,
Right.
Right,
to
but-
do.
Well,
Right.
and that was
Sorry, I didn't mean that. I just think there's a difference between a homebrewed world, because you can do anything you want with it at that point. And
Mhm.
like Chubby said, when you're playing a published game like that,
Right.
all of a sudden you got to fill in the blanks to get people back.
Right,
caught
because a
up.
homebrew world, you could just throw in any low level adventure and start
Right.
them there, and
yeah,
it's that.
pick
It doesn't
a
have
hex
to
and
be
drop
lore
it in.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, part of the problem with the Gods of the Forbidden North and why we decided to switch to Dolmenwood was that the two characters that survived were both run by one player, and those two characters, by sheer luck, player skill, some combination thereof, had never died. They were his original two. So they were like, he was like a level 8 cleric casting Raise Dead and 5th level spells, and the rest of us were like level 4 or 5, just from, deaths and that sort of thing. And Greg was using the axe, like XP bank rules. So it's not like we were starting back over at level 1 every time, but, a bad roll here, an instant death trap there, and, you just get setback after setback. So the disparity was too much. So we just kind of decided that, functionally it was a TPK. Those last two characters could kind of like retire, and then we'd move on to Dolmenwood. So, but it became hard to justify, and the disparity was getting such that things that were challenging and engaging for Jin and Vigar, which were the two characters, were basically like potentially, one-shot opportunities for everybody else. So, but that's part of the game.
Yeah.
But if you weren't running it with those axe rolls, it would be basically unplayable. You would die nonstop. It would just be a meat grinder. If you're playing it with like raw OSE rules of just death at 0 HP.
Sounds like $300 well spent.
Right. And so you're basically saying if you had to play it, like that, and you're starting over with first levels every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we had cleared out all the I had joined like about in the last 4 months or so. They had cleared out all the low level appropriate stuff. So I mean, like I think Greg let you come in at level 2, I think, right? Just to have a little bit of extra buffer. But yeah, the undead dwarf queen that killed us rocked us with an 8d6 fireball. So yeah, that got spicy.
See, I've never done that in my games where if the character dies, like if they start a new character, they start at level 1,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they're in the high, like my game right now, they're between 8th and 10th level. If one of them dies and wants to do a new character, he's not coming in at level 1. He's not going to be able to do anything. Like he's going to be I mean, they have a level 2 NPC with them. It's my son's ranger apprentice. And he's literally given orders all the time. You are not to engage in melee. You are to hang back and shoot arrows at the maximum distance you possibly can do it. Because he's like, I don't want him to get killed. Because he's going to get killed. They're fighting fire giants and ancient wyvern. Like it's like
right.
And to that ranger's credit, he did drop both the ancient wyverns with arrow fire, so he kind of has that, on his chip on his shoulder now that he killed them.
I find that
I've never done that.
I find that kind of interesting because you can go two ways with it, and I don't know how it is with Dragonbane and newer games, but like say you're playing AD&D and one of the players dies and the rest of the group is level 8. If you start a new player at level 1, by the time those players hit level 9, that player's level 8. I mean,
yeah, right.
It is.
Yeah.
But you're right.
He ain't going to make it that long.
Well, no, he can make it that long, but his party's got to protect him. I mean, that player's no weaker than any wizard at that level when it comes to hit points and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the threat matrix that he's dealing with isn't like you're dealing with the first level characters, right? Like he's not going to survive. Like he'd have to play very, very smart and be nigh useless until they level up, and especially with slower leveling games. I mean, like any of the old ones, like
Paul.
C&C,
Yeah,
I mean, I've been playing for 5 years, and we have a 10th level character. Like
Paul. I guess if your DM has no imagination, sure, yeah, they can just be a caddy for 12 sessions. Sounds fun. You guys make it sound like it's impossible. It's what people have done for fucking 50 years.
No, it's not impossible.
Sure.
I mean,
like it's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible. I just think that the way Gods of the Forbidden North is built and designed with what it had available, it would be exceedingly difficult. And at the end of the day, their games, they should be fun. I think if we were to restart with, one guy that has 2 level 8 dudes and the rest of us that are like, level 2 or 3 or however much banked experience we are, it becomes much less fun.
If you're playing an old school game, though, the DM has to hand wave one rule. That the rule about gaining no more than 1 level per session.
Yes, I agree.
Cannot apply if you start somebody at first level.
Yeah, then it becomes a non-issue.
Because they could gain 4 levels in 1 session just by tagging along with their party.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely true. The way I normally do that is personally, they will get the experience. They can only gain 1 level each session, but they don't like stop their experience at 1 level below. So they play 1 more and they go up again. So,
yeah, I definitely don't like the idea of like if somebody's, level, if the group is like level 6 and somebody dies, like I don't like the idea of bringing in somebody at level 4 or 5. Like, I mean, I don't know. But like what you were saying, Dan, as far as the 2 level 8 characters, like I would never let a player play 2 characters unless it's
I think one was technically a henchman and he just kept surviving and kept leveling up. So
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, at that point, I don't know, but I mean, that's
me personally, at that point, I would have been like, all right, someone take the henchman and make that like your guy or something like that.
But I don't know. Like, I could see like if you had your game and you said, okay, once everybody, or once a character passes the threshold of level, 6, then all new characters will start at level 2 or something. So what I do, but I wouldn't like I wouldn't start anybody off with like at new, at the same character level as the rest of the group or whatever. I mean, because I think that minimizes the work that the group put in to get to that point.
I agree, and I actually just did this on Monday. So Paul Flint Fireforge joined us on Erudite DM's Monday game, where. And I was like, you know what? The group's gotten about 4,000 to 4,500 experience. You can make a character and start with 3K. So whatever class you pick, you have 3,000 experience. Depending on what you pick, you might be level 1, you might be level 2. If you pick a thief, I think you might just be level 3. So because like you don't want to invalidate the work that the other players have put in, but I mean, really, the guys that are working together, they kind of have to have a reason to bring this guy along too, like in my mind, right? There has to be a little bit of, okay, this guy has enough value and worth to join us. If he's just some schlub who gets into bar fights and has 3 HP, right? Like that's not, I mean, maybe to Lord Mattias, who would use it as a trap finder character. That's what he does. But
do you guys use henchmen in your games?
Yes.
Do most henchmen come higher than level 1?
Depends on what town they're in or what city they're in.
I mean, most of the systems, when they include henchmen, they're generally level 1 or level 0 henchmen.
So I'm thinking to Axe, which has rules for based on the like class of the city or settlement, like what levels of stuff you can find, which I don't necessarily follow to the letter, but I kind of inherently do that. Like in a bigger city, you're gonna have a better chance of finding like someone that might be level 3 or 4 looking for work. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having higher level henchmen. I just wouldn't want to, I would want them to get there. I would start them at first level, and then as they went out with the party, I would have them gain like half XP or something.
Yeah, for me, if a character dies and the next guy brings in a new character, it really depends on what class I'm playing. We did that when I was playing Yohai the Cleric, and one of our players who we kicked out of the group not long after, thank God, because he was terrible. We're all loading up in the boat, ready to go on to the adventure. I think we're all 5th or 6th level, which in Roger's world was high level. That's powerful. Yeah. And he comes schlepping up with his 1st level druid. and didn't tell anybody until we were like pushing off the shore to go to the adventure. And I was like, what are you thinking? You know, you have 3 hit points. I'm the healer. I'm going to spend all of my time and energy making sure that you don't die, because the player was stupid as hell and that didn't help. And that's exactly what it was. The whole time, this first level druid, hey, I've got these good fruit, because we're playing Reforge, we're playing C&C. I've got these fruit. Dude, piss off with your blueberries. And that was the limit of this guy's vision. That was all he could think to do that was of any kind of help at all. However, if I had been playing Bob the Thief, come on over, Bullet Sponge. You can take one shot that won't be aimed at me, and I'm fine with that. I don't care if you die or not. So really, for me, it depends on the class. I took the party safety extremely seriously because I was the healer in the off tank. So Yohai always felt like me. I always felt like it was my responsibility to make sure that everybody got back home that night. But if I'm playing somebody that doesn't have that responsibility, I don't care. But also, you know, if that guy's bringing in a first level character and that character dies, now he's bringing in another first level character and another, and it just, you're just stuck with this dude that's never going to get anywhere. You know, but I think that Mike is right also. If he plays him well, if he hides in the back, does what he can when he can, but doesn't make himself a target, 2 hours into the game, he's second level, and we're okay with this.
I mean, you get the first level guy that comes in, you know, hand him the torch, have him watch the back of the party, you know, cover this door, yell if something comes through it. I mean, there's lots of things they can do. Is it fun? It depends on the player. Some players will eat that shit up, and some players will be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But they're the same player that wants you to hand them a 5e sheet with a list of things they can do.
Yes, and that was this
because
character.
Then that's why I said it's not just the DM being creative, but also the player. It's doable, but is it ideal? No. I mean, we've done it all different ways. We've started people at first level. We've started them at half of the lowest member of the party. We've even started them one level below, you know, and went that way.
That's what I always did. Player average -1. That was what I did.
Go with whatever works with your group.
Sure.
You know, where the game is going. If you're in a, you know, if you got a whole group that's headed into hell, you don't want somebody making a first level character to tag along with you.
Sure.
You should probably be like, hey, you know, we're going to start you at half the level or something like that. You know, I guess there's no definitive answer to it.
So what I was doing is I was doing sort of like XP for gold, except instead of based on what they found, it was what they spent. So basically they can buy XP for, you know, one gold per 1 XP. And that was basically, you know, whatever, training, carousing, what, you know what I mean, whatever type of thing. And so like with that, it sort of made the group able to, you know, bring in new characters and, you know, level them up if they wanted to. I mean, it happened more often than I'd like, but I mean, because I wanted it to happen more organically, or if they needed somebody, you know, to be a higher level or something. But like I would love to see, you know, if a couple people got killed or they were going to bring in new people, you know, if everybody was like, oh yeah, well, let's, you know, get our level 1 guys or whatever, level 1 or 2 guys and go do this other thing, you know, and then go from there. You know, instead of like drag the first level character along with you know, the level 6, 7, 8 guys, you know. I mean, that's, you know, my thought on how that should actually work. Baron Karza here says Hargrave with Arduin pushed HP to level 1. I know he did that. And, you know, and front loads a lot of the HP, which is neat. So you get you know, a base hit point, and then you get only a lesser amount every level.
Or games like Dragonbane where your hit points are your con.
Yeah,
right.
or games like Dragonbane, where you start and you have like it's not 3, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and then that's sort of your hit points for forever, you know. Yeah, I agree, Edgelord.
That game to bring in new characters. A game like that.
I'm with you, Edgelord, but by letting my players come in at first level, like that's the concession that I make as a GM. because I would have them make 4 level zeros and do a funnel every single time.
Funnels are awful.
But I know players that would that they would, you know, they'd hang me. So
Yes, I would.
I would just lose
wouldn't hang
players.
you, but after the first funnel, I'd be like, okay, this is the last funnel I'm doing.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. People don't like
I
to
don't
do
like
that. So that's why I'm like, okay, first level. You know, I mean, I get that people don't like it. You know, so I don't do that. Oh, Edgelord likes funnels.
Yeah, he's wrong. It's okay.
Edgelord also likes Candela Obscura.
So,
Yeah, well, you know, we can't all be 100% winners.
Yeah.
I've never run a funnel. I don't know, something about it just doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah,
I played in one, and that's all I needed to do.
See, we have an 80% no on funnels.
yeah, I get it. It's not for everybody.
I will run them because it's funny watching the level 0 characters die. Playing them is terrible.
I enjoy playing them.
I guess you're just a masochist.
You know,
At a con, sure, but like as a start to a campaign, just start at level 1. Like, roll your dice, roll up a character, skip the whole funnel thing.
Yeah, play what you want to play. Just make your character and go.
I agree.
Yep.
So back to the topic of homebrewing worlds and is it worth it?
Yeah, homebrewing. Yeah. Oh, Total World Building. There you go.
I love this book.
That's a great book.
It's so good.
That's a great book.
I'm all in favor of homebrew and world building, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, one, it's a lot cheaper.
In terms of money, yes. In terms of time, probably not.
Well, no, I think, you know what? I don't know. It depends. If you were going to write like the entire setting and everything, like, then yeah, it's probably not worth it. But, you know, doing it where you're just sort of writing a little bit and have sort of a general idea and then placing things around and all that.
Mhm.
Like, I think it's a lot less work than people think. Because you really don't need, a whole lot to get started.
Yeah, it depends on how detailed you want to get with it. Right.
You know, I mean, you don't have to write the entirety of the Forgotten Realms out before you start a game. Like, I mean, I know that there's like a lot of people that think that you have to have, thousands of years of backstory and all these locations and stuff. But I mean, you could start with 15 hexes and, just a local bad guy and then, then go from there.
Right.
How mine started was I decided I wanted to do it. So I started working on it. And then I had that crazy idea that I was going to just build the whole thing and then play. And I kept like telling my players things about it. And they kept after me. They were like, well, when are we going to play? When are we going to play? And then finally I just said, frig it. And I put the first game together. And it was funny because I was running 5th edition. And I wrote like, they had the thing in there like, kind of like track your camp. I don't know how they call it, but like levels 1 through 5, you're like local hero, and then boom, 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 boom. And I had that written down in my notebook, like where I thought they would be at, like at different stages. my idea for what we were doing, and it did not turn out anything like that. Which is the single best thing I did was like listen to them and just start, and it just built out from there. And we're in our 3rd campaign there, so.
Edgelord is more hopped up on something than I am, I think.
Yeah, Edgelord's having a good time tonight. But,
just saying. He must have got another bottle of Blanton's.
Blanton's.
That's all right. Good times what we're here for.
One of the things about homebrew adventures that I wanted to touch on, because I had, I've got my homebrew world that we've run in for forever, and it's changed a lot over the years. But one thing I've done is I've always had a map for it. And one of my buddies that was no longer in the group said he was going to start a new campaign and he wanted to make a map for it. And he was asking me all about, what did you use for this? What did you do? And I was like, Sean, let me fill you in on something. Nobody fucking cares. Not one of you guys in the group ever cared about my map. If you want to make a map for your homebrew and have a ton of lore in it, it's for you, the DM. Because most of the players... No. Most players don't care. You might have a great group. Most players don't care. They just want to
like I
show
said,
up and roll dice.
like any of the advice or opinions, it's all based on your group, right?
Yeah.
My group, they do care about that stuff.
I think you have.
Jason
I told
cares
you this
too
before.
much.
I think you have a unicorn group because I think most players really don't. And Jason, you do, but what about the rest of the group? Does the rest
No,
of the group
you're
care?
absolutely correct. In
just-
fact, they care so little that it often makes me angry. And I mean angry. Like, I don't want to play with you jack-offs anymore because you wasted my time.
Jason cares more about the lore and the map than I do.
I mean, I've gotten irritated with my players because we've say we're starting a new game or something, and I'll be like, "What do you guys want to play? Do you guys want to run the homebrew, or would you like to do Forgotten Realms, or do you want to do Greyhawk?" And they're like, "I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. They're all the same." No, they're not all the same.
That's
They're
right.
My guys
absolutely
are not like that.
They are.
My
not
guys
the
are like
same.
Jason. They are like balls deep, all in on it.
Yeah.
Dakota, I swear, man, one day I will get up to your area so I can join your group too.
Please do.
That
Please
is
do.
such a end goal for me, man.
Yeah.
You know, Roger.
So
and
what I learned, was like I had my first campaign, and then I started. Before that was over, I started another one with a few of those players, just a few. And a lot of times, it's like cooking spaghetti. You just throw shit out there to throw it out there and see what sticks and what they're interested in. And with the second group, those were like my best players. And I had to be careful doing that because sometimes I don't have it, I don't have anything more than like a sentence. And then they're like, "Oh, let's go. What is this?" And they'd be like, and then I had to stop doing that, or I had to be like, "Okay, if I throw that out there, I need to know the why and all this other stuff because if they latch onto this, they're going to latch onto this and they're going to want to know all that." So it's like it made me better that way, I guess. I was more prepared, which was good.
Roger's campaign it's a flat world. There's a waterfall at one end and an ice wall on the other. And early on, I was like, I want a compass for my ranger, because the compass has been around for thousands of years. It's rudimentary technology. And I was like, it doesn't have anything fancy. I just want to know what way is north so that when I'm navigating, I know where I'm going. And he said, well, there's no north. And I was like, what are you talking about? There's no north. Of course there's north. No matter what you call it, there is a fixed direction. No, there isn't one of those. What are you talking about? So then he's telling me about the world, and I'm like, so the water's just falling off of one end? So
Yeah.
are there no tides? And he's like, and I'm like, okay, because we're sailing. Wind is partially generated by tidal movement. What are you doing to me? And so now it's like I start going to simulator mode, and I just could not wrap my head around this island that we're all on, that's massive with water falling off of three sides, and I was like, this is freaking stupid, man. I don't.
You know what's really
talking about?
You know what's really scary about that, Jason? Just sit down for a minute and just wrap your head around the fact that there's people out there that really believe that in real life.
So
those people
hang
are called
on.
morons.
I want to clear up some misconceptions here.
I think Roger might be one of them.
No. One, water only flows off of one edge. Okay. The northern edge is an ice wall, and to the east and to the west, nobody's gone far enough to figure that out.
You just said there is no north.
Well, there is.
There is now.
Yeah,
Apparently-
one direction.
No. Because of that, apparently the northern ice wall has a lot of iron fragments in it, and it makes it magnetic, so that a compass will point.
So, but
to the
the
north.
only way that water isn't, if water's falling off the south, the only way that water isn't falling off east and west is if we live on a tube. So now this doesn't make any sense to me at all, because the water's just going to be wrapping around.
Right. No. So that's not what it is. It's there. Well, yeah. There's other things that I'm not going to get into now.
It's like a big flume ride.
But
build yourself a big like Viking ship, and you can ride from north to south and off the edge.
It's just way more complicated than that, and that is not going to be a discussion for this stream.
Right.
We do that in a world.
But anyway, my point was, but like everywhere we would go, I would, because I was playing Yohai, who unfortunately did not have a very high intelligence, but he was really curious about everything that we found. This ancient temple. What do you mean ancient temple? I thought we were the first people here. Looks like you're not the first people here. Okay, cool. I'm going to bite on that hook. And so now I want to know all about this stuff. But then, so I'm writing all this stuff down in my notes. I'm taking really detailed notes so I can put all these pieces together. And I look around and everybody else is like, yeah, whatever. I just want to kill a hill giant. I'm like, oh yeah, what a bummer.
Well, my whole thing, like my answer, like when you say, okay, the tide and like the winds and like, all of that, like I get how tide, and waves and all that stuff works on Earth, right, with the moon and all that. But like on this, in the fantasy world, right, it's like physics don't exist because of physics, right? Because there's no like universe, like laws of the universe. Like the reason why gravity exists and things fall is because there's a God out there that says things fall, right? Like,
and I understand it, and we're talking about fantasy, but for me, that's Deus Ex Machina, and I hate it. It is a lazy way to make a world, and I'm not saying that you're lazy. That's not what I'm going.
No, I get it, but it's true.
It's like this because God said so. Man, that's boring as hell.
Well, no, but like
for me, there's in the nothing middle of the ocean, I can investigate after that.
In the middle of the ocean, there's a god of water that basically is some super powerful being that has water control, and it like is continuous, like he's just continuously generating like these waves as he moves around, in the center of the ocean, and it, as he walks around like the bottom of the ocean or whatever, and it just makes these waves that kind of constantly go out. Like, I mean, that's how I see it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be.
So it's part of the world's mythology then, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But, in fact, I had a debate on this in one of my geology classes. It was, we were debating, whether God created stuff or whether, external forces are creating stuff. And I was like, anytime you say the answer is God did it, it denies any further investigation, because the answer is God did it, or a God did it. And
sure.
So now it completely nullifies curiosity. And so for me, that's just a huge sin when you're making a world.
Sure.
That the world should be able to be investigated and explored, other than the wall of God did it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think when you're creating a world and you want to create your mythos and, okay, the gods created this, the gods created that, it should all be in the past. And it's like a one-time event. The gods created this, and now these creatures have free will, and things have happened since then, which gives you that curiosity of like, where did this temple come from? What was in these ruins? What happened to civilization that's no longer here?
Yeah.
You can have it.
Well, that I have.
You can have it created by deities without creating the problem, like Jason's saying. But if all the answers to everything are like, what happened to civilization? Well, God wiped them out. Okay, it kind of ends the conversation. What do you do then?
Yeah, I like there to be at least some sort of internal logic when I'm building things. And I definitely like screw up, right? Or I'll forget things. I have one of my players is a very, very smart dude and very hyper analytical. He's also like super all in on the world lore stuff. And I've got one region that's like this volcanic blasted wasteland. And there's a city on the back of a giant dragon tortoise. And like, it's walking around this lava lake constantly. It's immune to fire.
Mike has that model.
What?
I'm sorry, Dan. I shouldn't have interrupted you.
No, you're good. But like, there's a city on the back, and like he was like, well, what do they eat? And I was like, fuck, birds, because that's what came to my mind. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, like there is like an upper caste of like wizard lords, and this is what they do. They create food and water, and then it goes down the castes, and the people in the slums get the scraps because it lasts for X amount of days. So, and then it starts to rot. And then in the lower city, there's, just giant piles of garbage. And now there's like trash shambling mounds that also expel methane gas. So when you hit them with fire, they explode. Like, and that became a whole bunch of cool stuff. But that took a couple days of pondering that fuck up moment of mine of birds and then evaluating it from there. But my guys are cool, so they'll let me retcon a bit where I need to. But yeah, I agree with Jason. I like it when there's at least some level of internal logic that can be explored, because I think that's important.
And Roger did that in the game that we were playing. We were not constantly, not every game, but often enough, we would find ruins of an ancient civilization. In fact, they were a Greek model civilization or Roman, but we would find them, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is awesome! Okay, now we can investigate this and find out more about these people that were here before." And one of the things I really liked about it is we kept finding clues scattered all over the place that were leading back to the Count and his family back on the mainland. And so I was all in on that overarching plot. I thought it was really cool. It kind of bummed me out when we stopped exploring all that and went a different direction.
We'll get back to it. We'll definitely get back to it. So the ice wall is inhabited by cloud giants not cloud giants, storm giants, and they make storms, and the storms and the rain falls, and the rain solidifies onto the ice, building up the ice wall. But the ice where it touches the water is constantly melting into the water. And so that's how the water is continually being replenished.
And I have argued that that's ridiculous on numerous occasions, but that's okay.
No, I know.
You can't possibly have enough water falling, making ice being melted by wave action to make up for the amount of water that is flowing off the southern edge of the world.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
But that's a question that doesn't need to be answered. That just like Shellback was saying, there's a gate and the water's flowing in. Suck it up. Just play the game. That's fine. I just like to give Roger a hard time when he starts talking about his world. That's all it is.
Jeff, it's not Aquaman. Thanks for coming. I heard you got mauled by a saber-toothed tiger 10 foot in the air.
Yes. And then his corpse levitated because the magic still lasts. It's not a concentration spell.
Shellback and Edgelord ganging up on me, and they nailed it. Indiana Jason, and now I hear Sean Connery tell me, "Let it go, son. Indiana, let it go." I will let it go and just play the game.
Yeah. Indiana, let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like maybe I always like using like a flat world or whatever, because I like to do like, I don't know, I like to go like I know this is like counterintuitive, but like to me it's like a historical thing, right? Like even though I know that the world's not flat, like I'm not saying like that it's grounded in realism at all, but like for me, like I think about those times, where like when people weren't sure, you know what I mean? And like the time of gods and all of that stuff. And like the Greeks and the Romans and stuff, like they, like every single thing that happened, they came up with a reason of, oh, there's this God that did this. You know what I mean? This is the guy that, he prances around in his chariot in the sky, and like, that's the sun, and, and there's all that stuff. And so to me, like in my world, like I just reverse that. And I said, for everything that happens, like I just need a God that basically says says that it's so. And I mean, maybe that sounds crazy, but like, but then like with the earth is flat or whatever, I mean, it's cool stuff, I think, to think about it like that. So
I'm quite fond of a world where the world is flat.
I like it. Well, that's because you're into Hyperborea. There you go. Hyperborea.
Always close at hand.
But yeah, I mean, so that's kind of where I am with that. And I enjoy I enjoy like the world building aspect of it. And I enjoy that I could just kind of say things like that. And I know like Jason gets on my case of like, that's like a lame excuse or whatever. But like, and like you said, though, it's easy and it's quick to go to. So I can do that and just move on and say, and I mean, instead of actually having to come up with, real physics as to why things work the way that they do. I mean, as far as, like I don't want to spend that much time in world building.
Right.
Like I would rather spend it, on lore and not, building the world.
How
like
do
I'd
you
rather just be able to
differentiate
say,
lore from world building? Because I see them as kind of very, very similar. if not
Well-
the same.
Yeah, they're part and parcel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess what I mean is the difference between like the world creation, the world physics, and like all of those like environmental rules versus like the story of what's happened here.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Hand wave a bit of the physics and science and mechanics portion of it and focus on like the factions and the history of the peoples within.
Yeah. Like, and I would rather that the players not worry about, like I'd rather the players just take for granted, okay, the gods are, they just did all this, and then worry about, the, be more focused on, what old civilization was here, or like what happened, or how does this connect to what we're doing, or whatever. Instead of the players trying to calculate, the water flow rate, off the edge of the thing. And I know that's something that goes through Jason's head. It's not something that goes through everybody's head. I mean, so like,
I'm just a pain in the ass.
yeah, I mean, so like for you, like, I mean, so like, give into the disbelief a little, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it, right? It doesn't make sense. Like physics does, might not make sense, but like, I mean, it is a fantasy world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is
That's
some
just
level
general
of
attitude.
suspension of disbelief. I think that needs to occur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Okay.
that's the difficult, that is difficult for me.
Yeah, I get it.
But that's my hang up, and it should no way,
Yeah.
punish Roger for my hang ups. I totally get that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, Todd, yes, he'd be bored out of his mind if he had to run other people's modules, creating his own world is half the fun. Yeah. And there's two different things there, right? Like world building and module building, right? I think, or adventures or whatever. I think it's two different things. And I think it's nice, like, Mike mentioned earlier, like using the old modules, like it's a lot easier, like in your homebrew world or it's very easy in a homebrew world to just be able to put modules where you want them.
Mhm.
And just say, oh, here's this dungeon, and go from there. Yeah.
Paul had a good one here too.
Yeah, Paul, this one here.
Yeah. For world
Yeah.
building and working with wet clay. Yeah.
No, and that's fantastic. Yeah, and he clears it up here. The rest is based on what they actually choose to interact with first.
Yep, that's how I do it too.
And that's perfect. That's perfect.
Very valuable.
You're right. Only worry about run it like a video game, right? You only need to generate the area that they're looking at. You don't have to worry about what's behind them until they turn around. No, it's the same thing. If they're looking at something or trying to figure out a certain area, then you definitely got to work on that. But don't worry, the rest could be a black hole. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's pretty much how I do it.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a general like one or two line on the different regions, and then if they decide to go there, then I'll start to build out from there. But it's literally like 2 bullet points.
Yeah, I've got some general ideas, and like because this, like on the particular world that we're playing in now, like I kind of know what was there before, and so I'm almost like working forwards from that. I mean, I kind of know what happened. There was a civilization that went into decline, and some bad shit happened, and so everybody left. But spoilers. But like as far as like the why or like all that stuff, what's that?
We figured that part out.
Oh yeah. No, you guys definitely figured that part out. But like as far as like the reasons and like there's been like I've been like Jason mentioned earlier, I've been dripping some involvement of people that they may know, even though it was like 1,300 years ago. It's like, wait a minute, this guy looks like this guy that we know. Like, how is this, the thing? And so like they're starting to figure out there's definitely a lineage there or something that's going on, and so I think that's cool. But so I kind of know like what happened there. I mean, I definitely know what happened there. But as far as like the smaller details and like how that information gets out, like I don't have all that written at all. I have certain areas and certain things that I want to push out there, but not in like a specific, not all of it's in a specific way where I can say, oh, this information is found here and there. It's kind of whatever pops up. Goes from there. Yeah, Todd. I never worry about making a great campaign. Focus on the next session being great, and the campaign will take care of itself. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's you get into like I'll use Gods of the Forbidden North, right? You get into a situation where like you don't want to write out that much in your campaign because you might not get that far.
Yeah,
you might not use it all. And yeah, I mean, everything you write might be, useful. You might be able to fit it in later, but why would you write out a whole bunch of stuff if you have no idea what's the average campaign length was like what, 8 sessions or something when they did that poll a couple of years ago?
yeah, something like that.
That's our 5e D&D.
Right.
Well, right. And that's what a lot of those answers are coming from. Right. But still, like if you get a group together, you don't know if it's going to stick or if it's going to, like Stan, I know you've been playing with the same group of people for like 800 years. Right. So it's like, okay,
Right.
you're going to run another game and they're all going to show up and yeah. Next Saturday.
I'm down to 3 out of, I started with 7. I'm down to 3, but
yeah.
But they'll be there, and I mean we're on year 5 and session 90, and
yeah, wow, yeah,
probably in another year or so, hopefully we'll wrap this one up and move on to whatever's next. But I do agree, like you focus on what you're doing, right? Like, but I mean, like you asked Roger, what's the benefit of doing the other stuff? Like sometimes it's just stuff you like to, if it's stuff you like to do, right? Like sometimes I'll work on stuff that I have no idea if that's ever going to be used or if they'll ever go there. But all of a sudden my brain just went, hey, I'm really interested in working on that. And here's all these ideas. So I'm going to write them down so I don't lose them. And I'll do that. Or if I don't do it that in depth, I have a thing because I keep my stuff in OneNote. I have basically an idea section. And if I just come up with something random one day that I don't want to ever want to forget that I can pull from later, I'll do that. I'll just put it in there and to be worked on later if I ever need to. But I enjoy the session building stuff, so I often work on stuff that isn't being used, but it's like I think, oh, maybe down the road if I do this campaign, or if they go here, I'll have a little bit of something ready for them to deal with. But yeah, focus on what your group is doing by and large. That is way easier.
It's actually like a good adjacent topic to world building. What tools do you guys use? Because I'm a big Obsidian guy. I love Obsidian. I love Markdown files. I do what the hell is it called? Not Worldographer, Wonder Draft and Dungeon Draft when I'm making some maps, because mine's mostly VTT, right? It's not in person. I'm not that lucky.
I have Wonder Draft. I like it, but I can't figure all of it out.
Yeah, the interface isn't very intuitive.
I can't get it to do rivers and lakes, like they'll pop up, but I can't get them to stick. But it's helped a little bit because it does give me a rough idea, because I don't have great maps for my setting. One of my players probably actually has better maps, because he's in his notes, he's always drawing maps. Like we were in the last session, they thought they came out on the north side of this mountain range, and I was like, well, you have, the ranger in the party's like, no, we're on the south side. And he's like, oh. He's like, oh, what, so he's like altering his map and everything. But I need to go in and update all those maps because it's been a while.
Yeah, I don't think I can pull that one over on Jason. Like the player, not the character. I mean, and most of his characters probably, but
it depends on the character. Yeah, but if I thought we came out on the north side and you said no, you're in south, we're like, oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
no
right.
problem.
It depends on if it was like a ranger or something, which
Yeah.
you're prone to playing, then I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
would be,
Yeah.
because the way the
And if I
moss
was-
grows on one side
Yeah.
or something of the mountain.
Yeah, that's not true though. It grows where there's sunlight, but that's neither here nor there. If I were playing somebody that didn't know, I'd be like,
See what I mean?
"Oh man, guys, I think we're lost."
Yeah.
Well, time to start walking because
Yeah.
we're going to have to find something. Okay, that's the adventure. We're lost. Let's see if we can find our way home or find someplace else. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I did something a little bit different with this campaign. I guess I keep saying this campaign. We're in Shadow Dark. It was basic fantasy, and then it was Castles and Crusades. So it's kind of been through, some stuff, but it's been the same kind of campaign, really. But this map and this world map, I used Worldographer and the 1E DMG to kind of build it. I also kind of had a general idea of like where stuff sort of is on it, but I built the entire map, at least the hex map in 6 mile hexes for the entire continent before I started, which is the first time I've done that. So that was interesting. OSR is nothing to the armed and fully operational power.
Oh man,
is that what he said? He probably has said that.
I don't watch that moron.
He is a moron.
Come now, fresh minds, new ideas. Be tolerant.
Yeah.
So I can be tolerant. I just don't respect the camera angle and the nose hairs.
Jason and I saw him a couple years ago, and Jason was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, I've done that with all the YouTubers that Rogers introduced me to or pointed out. Oh, that's so and so. Who?
He was the guy when we were in Justin Alexander's seminar.
Yes,
he was the guy that was arguing with him about the duty of the game master.
Yeah, he made a video about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then he played in Bloodworth's game. They like made up. He played in his game, and they gave him a bad review online about it. Made a video. He said he was a terrible GM.
He made a video about that Jason Alexander session, and then
Justin
Alexander,
somebody else.
Costanza. But Justin Alexander, he made a video about it, and he was basically gave the I owned him and everybody clapped Reddit line. It was hilarious.
I don't recall clapping.
No,
I don't. In fact, I remember looking at Roger going, "This guy's kind of a douchebag."
Oh, he's a total douchebag.
I love you, Jason.
What's he gonna do? Free speech, bitch.
Yeah,
he's something. Yeah. He's something.
I find better things to watch on YouTube than some dude driving around in his car whining about fucking D&D.
Yeah.
Well, because
that's all he does. He just he somehow believes he is like far superior to every OSR player out. Yeah. Like, we just don't get it, and he's figured it all out.
Okay. Yeah.
It's funny because he latches onto shit, and he'll do fucking 100+ videos on the same topic, and then brag about how many videos he has. And I'm like, you never say anything, knucklehead. Like, you just keep repeating yourself over and over.
It's really easy to get a whole bunch of videos out when you turn on your fucking phone for 3 minutes while you're door dashing or whatever the hell you're doing.
Door dashing food,
it's got to be what he's doing. It's got to be.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus! What
like,
him or Condor? Well, I hate.
Like
I
Condor's love child.
I hesitate to even say Condor's name more than 3 times because.
And here I am again.
Who?
I don't know.
It means nothing to me.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get into that conversation.
Cherish your ignorance.
I don't want to get into it with him.
Congratulations, Lord. Mission accomplished.
Is in. It goes back and forth and double D and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't want to get into it with these guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't. No comment. No comment.
That's like looking at a messed up chicken saying, "I can fix her." No, you can't.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Mike, what do you do for world building? What world were you using? Were you using Greyhawk or
I've run Greyhawk, I've run Forgotten Realms, I've run my homebrew.
Which do you prefer?
what do you like better? Homebrew or pre-built? As far as a campaign setting, like, just the world.
No, I probably run my homebrew more than anything, because back in the day, that's all I ran. I did start way back in the day with Dragonlance.
Yeah.
And just the Dragonlance Adventures book. That's all we had.
Oh, yeah.
I had a map. Little 2-page fold-out map that I still have in this book, and that was it. The only reason I actually wanted to speak up when Dan mentioned Dragonlance, I love the setting and the stories, although I don't find that the writing holds up very well as a 51-year-old adult. It's just very...
I wholeheartedly agree with
It's very much written for children, which is, I was 13 when I read them, and they were great. And I've read them several times since, and I still enjoy the story, but the writing's not very good.
I agree.
But my biggest problem with Dragonlance is I think it's an IP that's been completely misused by Dungeons and Dragons. It's had great success with all the novels, and people buy all the stuff that comes out for it. 2E had box sets and everything else. But, there was very little like, hey, we're going to create an adventure in Solace. Here's a drop-in adventure. You can level 2 characters play in Solace.
Right.
Everything they did is like, hey, how can we take the story of the Heroes of the Lance and let you play them yet again?
Agreed completely.
It's just lame, and it's very hard to just kind of, if you want to follow the lore of it, it's hard to homebrew it in a way because you're very pigeonholed by a lot of the decisions that they made.
Yeah.
So, if you got players that don't know Dragonlance and they're okay with you just making it up as you go, you could make a great setting out of it, going with, the basics of it. But if you're going to follow the lore, it really does kind of pigeonhole you a bit.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I wish they would have at some point been like, hey, let's just create it as a sandbox and we'll create little adventures that you could drop in. Hey, the War of the Lance is done. It's after, Legends is done or whatever. And I didn't read, it's obvious they've milked that cow to death because,
they're still doing it.
Yeah, the war happened. The war's finished. Oh, wait, nope, the war's not done. There's still more going on. Oh, nope, your next generation's still dealing with the war and the repercussions. And it just keeps going and going. And yeah, there's another one coming, and it's another trilogy coming, I should say.
Wow, that's the end thing now you got to do. Why do one when you could split it into 3?
Yeah.
No interest.
So I do like the setting. I even, this, I'm sure half the people here are going to fucking choke on their spit right now, but I even like things like Kender and Gully Dwarves. I
like Gully Dwarves.
They're fun. They're fun to use in the setting. They can even be fun when you have a player playing a Kender that's just like, as long as he's not obnoxious about it. It can be fun to have the little bit of mishaps that come up because of that player. But you got to have players along with it. If Jason is sitting there staring across from him and going, I hate your Kender, don't do stupid shit, he's not going to like it. You know what I mean? You got to have players that are like into it and be like, okay, that was funny. Whatever. Yeah, we got in a little bit of trouble. But
Yeah, I ran Dragonlance back when I was a teenager for a few years. But it wasn't War of the Lance, it was pre-Cataclysm. And I had my friends, they're basically, the story was they woke up and or had a premonition of the Cataclysm and they were trying to stop it. That was the whole thing. And spoiler alert, they failed. They tried to assassinate the king priest and failed. And it was awesome.
I think you could start a campaign right at the Cataclysm if you wanted to.
You could.
Well, Cataclysm just happened. The world is in disarray. The gods have left, and here you go.
Awesome.
You're thrown into it because it's, I don't even remember. What is it after the Cataclysm? We're like 100 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember the
Before
exact
the War of the
timeline
Lance.
of the age or whatever they called it.
Right. So you'd have a great timeline there to homebrew whatever you want out of it.
But TSR gave no support for anything outside the War of the Lance. And
Exactly.
It suffered completely because of it.
Well, and then they added Taladas. And they put
Yes.
a box set in with a continent that there's no lore for. And they were like, here you go. But most players looked at it and went, well, okay, but it's not Dragonlance now.
Right.
It's so different. You could have just put any name on it and,
yeah, it's basically just a completely different setting.
Right.
Yeah, there's like even the gods in Taladas are different. So,
right.
And the only like external support it ever got was the SSI Gold Box game Dark Queen of Krynn takes place there. That's the only thing that I'm aware of. There might be something else, but
one of my players, it was on Discord yesterday. I looked over. He's playing Dark Queen of Krynn.
Love that game. That game had pixelated Clyde Caldwell art, and young teenage Dan really, really enjoyed Takesis in all her Clyde Caldwell pixelated glory.
Yeah,
greatness.
Reach.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you asked me about it, like, so I actually did play something before Dragonlance, and that was it was Forgotten Realms, but it wasn't really recognizable as Forgotten Realms because it was the Moonshae Isles.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was my start, was like Darkwalker and Moonshae.
Yeah.
I loved it, gave it to all my players, read it, we all liked it. So we played on the Isles of Moonshae and lots of furbolgs and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. But then we discovered Dragonlance, and of course, when you're a teenager, all that shit influences you. So you read it, and you're like, "Oh, let's do that." Never got into Greyhawk. I did get into it later. Obviously, I made a Greyhawk map. I've got a few different Greyhawk maps.
Roger, what are you doing? You couldn't just leave it alone.
No, I couldn't just leave it alone. I'm sorry.
What am I missing?
Roger
was messing with the layout.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I started with Greyhawk, and then like in high school, I kind of got out of like gaming. My friends that I played with didn't play anymore, and then I was sitting in study hall one day, and somebody left Dragons of Autumn Twilight there, and I obviously wasn't going to study in study hall, so I grabbed that, started reading it, left with it, and I was hooked. It brought me back into D&D basically. So I mean, I bought all the stuff. Like I have that book that you showed and all the other stuff, and I never really ran games there though. I wanted to, but I think I maybe ran one. But I was a huge fan of that setting. But it is tough. Like if you're trying to game around the age of the War of the Lance, like it's tough because it's. But I just love the story, and I still like the story. I understand that it's probably aged a little bit, but it honestly dealt with some adult topics too that were pretty.
It absolutely did. Yeah.
But the setting, the different places that they went, I just thought was real. Every few years I will listen to them on Audible and just enjoy it because I really like those characters and
yeah.
The original trilogy.
That was our map for the campaign.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what this. And this came out of one of those published adventures, and I never owned one of them, so somebody must have given this to me way back in the day. But that's what we used.
Yeah, we my first book was actually Dragon. Oh, I love that book. Dragons of Autumn Twilight. No, sorry, Dragons of Spring Dawning was actually the first one I kind of stumbled into. I picked it up at Walden Books because the cover was cool.
And
yeah, so
read that first. Elmore covers were freaking badass.
And you got that's D&D art.
They're behind Mike.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, that's D&D. Like I know a lot of people that are a bit older than me. They're into like Errol Otis and Diesel and Darlene and like that art's all cool. Otis too. But like for me, it's the Clyde Caldwell, Easley, like Larry Elmore, Keith Parkinson.
I'm a little disappointed because at some point when I had gotten out of gaming, after I got out of gaming before I got married, before I even met my wife. It was, I would say right about 95-ish. I was playing Magic a lot, and we weren't playing D&D. And then I ended up going in the department and had to go downstate to the academy and all that. And I just didn't play again till 13, 14. So it was a long time from like 95 to 2013 that I didn't play. And somewhere in that period, I decided I'm not going to do this anymore. So I had boxes of novels that I just took down to our local recycling place, and they had like a whole wall that was a bookshelf, and people would just donate. And I'd go down there every week when I'd take trash and recyclables down there and look through the thing and pick out books. So I donated them all. My original Dragonlance books, so all the Elmore covered ones and everything. And they were beat up though. I mean, they were.
Yeah.
I could tell you, my original one had been passed. It was given to me by somebody. It had been passed around. It was beat up. But now I've been over the years kind of collecting some of that stuff again and read them again and whatnot. And like I said, they're still a good story, but they just do not hold up. There's much better authors out there. I mean, it's a good story, but they're just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the style. I mean, when did they come out? Right, the early '80s, mid '80s, '90s.
Now I have the trilogy.
Oh, they come out in the '80s because I read it. I was in high school, so
yeah.
I graduated in '89, so they come out. And I'm like I said, I get there's definitely different, better, writing out there. I still enjoy them. I bought. They just did the re-releases for the first two trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
In the. I don't know what the hell they're called, but they were a hell of a deal on Amazon, and I bought both of them.
I didn't end up buying them because I have them.
Yeah,
I have them in the soft cover.
They're like $23
versions.
I picked these up because I gave all of my old like mass market paperbacks to my sister's stepson. He's like 18 now. I hope he still has them and didn't get rid of them. But
I don't know what it is. I do know that the new trilogy they put out with the artwork on it, I did not like.
I'm sure the artwork sucked.
Yeah,
but I don't like those books that Dan just held up either. I think those covers are horrendous looking.
Well,
they're not my favorite.
I like them.
They're okay.
No,
they're not Dragonlance covers.
Yeah, they're not. They're just black and gold. And
yeah so. But now I have them on my shelf again. In case I decide to go read them again.
I have the soft cover annotated versions, the big thick ones.
Yeah, I've got those too.
And those have the easily cover, like one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a little nicer. But
I had the hardcover ones, and I think it's the original trilogy. It fell apart. Like it disintegrated on me.
Yeah.
These ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That way.
Yours look like they're in much better shape than mine. Mine were like, I ended up picking them up at some, free.
My Legends is beat to hell. It's like all it doesn't show up in white, but it's all creased and jacked up. The Chronicles is okay because I bought the Chronicles one myself and actually took care of it when I read it.
But I'll be honest, that's how they should look.
I agree.
If you read them, I mean,
I'm kind of I baby my books.
I get it, but I don't worry too much when a novel gets beat up because
when especially if it's like a trade paper or something, like they're kind of designed to get their asses kicked while they get knocked around in a backpack or something.
Yeah.
So, Stan, you play a lot more than I do, unfortunately for me. How often do you run homebrew? And I know that you play. There are other people in your group that DM and you play in their games. Are they running pre-gen worlds or are they homebrew?
So for campaign play, our weekly group, because we rotate game masters, we've had guys run DCC Lankmar. We've done Ravenloft, and my son though, his Dragon Slayer game that he's currently running it's set in my setting. He's just fleshing out an area that we've spent time in, but not a lot of time. So he's really fleshing that area out. We're going to have a sit down when this adventure's over, so I can add all the stuff that he's come up with into my notes. And I generally, well, that's not true. Like my homebrew is my CNC campaign. I run different stuff for the weekly group. Like I'll be running Hyperborea when my turn comes back up. I've run Dragonbane. That didn't really have a setting. I ran the Gloomshire module adventure, which was good. And then the Shadow Dark I ran my last time up. I actually used Raging Swans setting. It wasn't Langard, but it was up near Dunwich, and the Shadow Keep on the Borderlands. I ran that adventure for them. But most, like my regular games, are all homebrew.
Cool. With your CNC, do you pull any of the stuff from? I don't remember what their world was called. I can't remember. Do you use any of their campaign world, or do you just
Aired?
No,
I
do use.
I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah, no, I do like there's some things I have used, only not like any setting stuff as much. Some of the creatures like the Ungren, which are basically beastmen from Warhammer. I've used them because I like beastmen and I have a bunch of models. So and there's a reoccurring NPC they keep meeting, and he's a goblin, and he's from there. He's from the Monsters and Treasures for Air. He's in that. Um, so, but other than that, no, I don't. The only other thing I've really pulled in that wasn't mine was the old Rod of Seven Parts second edition box set adventure. Because that's the Rod of Seven Parts is it's part of our campaign, and I've been taking stuff from that, but like not whole cloth either. Like who has the pieces is different, and
Mhm.
how they learn about it is different. And some of it I have, like there's the NPC that starts that campaign off in the box set. I did use her in my game um, to get it started, but I've diverged from it. I just basically suck all the lore out of it about the rod.
Mr. Blawface here says I want to play more DCC. I definitely want to play some more DCC. I think that's more of a one shot thing. I definitely want to run Lankmar. Like I've got the greatest thieves of Lankmar, and some of that stuff that I'd like to run. But I think that would be shorter, like maybe 4 or 5, sessions.
Yeah, I think we
Like
did
that.
about 8 with ours.
Oh, what did you ran the greatest thieves in Lankmar?
I
Did
didn't
you
run
run
it.
that?
I played in it.
Right, but that was what it was, right? The greatest thieves of Lankmar.
Roger, that's a great question. I want to say yes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So that's yeah, that's something that I would want to run. And I think I can get
Shit.
Maybe 5 sessions out of it, but
I mean, Langmar's a great. I mean, if you're looking for a city setting,
yeah.
honestly, Langmar's a
No, I
friggin'
think it's great.
badass one to pick.
And I've said it before. Like I like DCC. I just think like the issue with it is with spell casting. Like some of the results get just completely out of control, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, they definitely can vary. You had a couple times where that
Nobody
happened.
here was at OSRCon in April, right?
In Mass.
I
No.
believe that's it was
Yeah, I
in
went to that.
Massachusetts. You
Oh,
were
did
at
you?
I went to
OSRCon,
that. Yeah, I went to that.
Mr.
The
Block.
one day, it was a 1-day first year of it.
Edgelord really wants to know what this package is. So I got this package. I checked the tape too, and the UPS guy walked down the porch and gently placed it.
Damn
So
it.
didn't throw it. Otherwise, I'd be
Toss it like a frisbee.
I'd be upset.
I want to see another Roger crash out at the postman
Yeah.
video.
So there's the box. There it is, Edgelord. You can see the box.
Is that
so
from
let's
the
see what's
Arduin
in here.
guys?
It's from the Arduin guys, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm pretty sure. I guess I should check and make sure, right? Make sure it's not from Adult World or something. Yeah, Emperor's Choice
that'd be
Games
funny.
and Miniatures. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that'd be hilarious, right? If that pulled out
Just pulls out some handcuffs. Like, oh,
What do we got in here? So it looks like this is all going to come out as one wrapped thing. Yep. Okay. So I know you guys can't see me unwrapping this.
Great.
okay.
So there's this kind of
Five of the
all in a
character
baggie. Let's see what's in here. So there's a bunch of these card packs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the card packs.
Cool.
Character pack, card set 1. Emperor's Choice and Central New York logo there. So that's that. So we'll do some giveaways for those. Got a bunch of stickers. I think these are stickers. Oh no, are these just? Oh yeah, I think these are these are stickers. The Funky Frank Pale Ale stickers there. They gave me a stack of them. So that'll be cool. There's some more cards, and then there's oh, these are like the maps, folded maps. I'm not going to unfold all of this stuff, but folded maps, and that's just blank paper there. Yeah, they look like they're all the same. They're all white. There's maybe half a dozen or so of the folded maps. I guess I'll open one of them. Oh, this is I'll have to see if they're all the same. This is the island
Very cool.
map there. I don't know if they're all the same, but yeah. So we got some of those. So we could start doing some giveaways.
You can't figure out how to get the chat window to work right.
I know. I know.
This will be interesting.
This ought to be good.
I don't know if we could. I don't know if we're going to do a giveaway today. Maybe we'll see. I don't know because then
I'm curious. Do I have permission to start clicking on stuff and see if I can fix it?
Oh my God, the chat thing.
Yeah.
As soon as you do, it's gonna screw up. Are you asking ChatGPT how to fix it?
No. Yes.
Oh boy. The chat thing. I mean, try it. I don't think it's look. I can move it. See, as soon as you go to move it, it does that.
I think that's just Restream being stupid. Not that we need to talk about.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. And the problem is, as soon as you if I move it and size it the way that I want, like that, and if I tell it overlay off, it goes back to that stupid size.
Weird.
So, I don't know. I don't know. What if I hit remove? I mean, yeah.
Don't know.
I knew that was going to happen.
That's okay.
So, yeah. It's every time I touch it. So, I got to just not touch the thing. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, fantastic. I don't know how to I don't know how to set up a giveaway thing to get it to work with a to do a spinner on the screen. So we'll have to figure it out.
I can give you the link
for a spinner. I know that I can do it with I know Nightbot will do a giveaway thing, but it'll just randomly pick something. It won't actually do a spinner.
No, I gotta do the spinner so there's tension and you can't get accused of fixing it.
Yeah. No, that's
because the spinner at least shows everybody that's eligible. The important thing with the spinner is to click the shuffle button a bunch between spins because it seems to land on a similar area a lot. I was on a previous stream where it seemed like a lot of people run 3 or 4 things. So
let me text those guys. Actually, to let them know. So yeah, I guess we'll do a giveaway.
Cool.
We'll do a card set.
Nice.
Or should we do a map? Let's do a map because Edgelord was saying he wants to get a map.
Yeah, maybe
let's do the map. I know a lot of people have been giving away cards, so let me text these guys, Dave and George. Package. Yeah. So if we can get that working, Dan, you're trying to find something?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the one I sent Jeff before. Because it works pretty well.
Yeah, it's just I love to find one to that'll be able to where you tell it people in the chat to type something and then it'll automatically add their name.
There we go. It's wheelofnames.com. I'll put it in the private chat.
Will that let me make sure all these maps are indeed the same. I think they are. I think they all say.
While Roger is pondering,
Choria. Yeah.
Dan, I don't know how much you DM. I know you do a lot of VTTs.
Yes.
Do you do mostly homebrew or do you use manufactured worlds?
Mostly homebrew. The one manufactured world I run is Hyperborea because it's me.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's very well built, and it's built. The thing I love about it is it's built in a way that it allows space for your own stuff, right? Which I think is very important. So I do. At this point, honestly, it's kind of half and half. But like my homebrew world has existed since I was a teenager, and I actually brought this out because I found it today. It all started way back when with where is it? That's Council of Worms. That's not it. I have very shitty maps. There we go. That's my colored pencil map for when I was a kid. I was like 10.
Those are the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
when you're using that particular world, do you have like a small section that is the world, or like if you and I are playing in a new game, are we in a different area somewhere across the continent or a different continent?
Yeah, there's different continents. There's like 3 main continents, and then I recently added essentially like an undiscovered one just to play around with that and kind of grow it out that way. I've also used it to run a number of different games, which is kind of fun. Like I've run Savage Worlds in it and Dragonbane and pretty much every edition of D&D that I can think of. So just kind of, make notes over time and try to at least keep it somewhat consistent in terms of, the lore and the happenings. And there's a calendar, but, obviously there's big gaps in it because the calendar didn't exist right off the bat. I think it was about, I played in it for about 8 or 9 years before I was like, I should probably start keeping track of this stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun. I like it. It's nothing special or fancy. It's just, Dan's fantasy world. There's a lot of, it's very like elemental plane focused. Like I don't have like the outer planes, I guess you would call them. There's no abyss. There's no 9 hells. There's no Elysium. There's none of that. So it's just the elemental ones. Cool. And there's no gods would be the other thing too. So
way a long time ago, this would have been 93, 94. I was playing, my DM had been running this campaign world forever. He was much older than I was. Mm-hmm. And he had this huge roll of paper that he would roll out. Here's the map. Here's where you're at. And over on one side, it was just white hexes, blank.
Yeah.
And we were out exploring one day and we came up to basically the edge. And I said, well, what's over here? And he said, you don't know, you haven't gone there yet. So we hired on a boat and we sailed over to that new area.
That's awesome.
And he rolled it out in front of us and drew the map while we were watching. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, I've done that.
Head,
yeah. Man. I've done that before too for parts of it. Mine has this like big archipelago kind of in the center. So like anything that's like an island type adventure, I've got there. So I've got like Hot Springs Island and, X1's in there and like anything else that's like an island focused adventure. I just drop in there. It works awesome. So big fan of that. That's why I like modules that I can drop in. So
yeah,
it's also great for when you haven't had time to prep and it's like, shit, I need to run something in 20 minutes. Isle of Dread, let's go.
Isle of Dread, that's something that I want to run.
I did buy something ridiculous fairly recently. It's a 5e book. It's called Escape from Skullcano Island.
Okay.
So you can have like kaijus and King Kong in there.
Nice.
So yeah. I'll have to convert it from 5e to a system I actually give a shit about, but that's not that bad.
I've done that with a bunch of stuff with CNC, Pathfinder, 5e stuff, all sorts of shit.
All right. So here's the thing. I gotta manually transfer the names from the chat to the thing. But here's this map. This map, it says Chornth, and it's got this island.
Okay.
So we're gonna give this away. Gonna mail this out to whoever gets it. So just put exclamation point wheel in the chat. Anybody that wants their name put on the list. And hopefully that will.
Does it work in all
the
the connected chats, or do they have to be in yours?
Oh, you know what? I think they gotta be.
Go to Game Master Rogers
YouTube.
Neighborhood and do it there, because that's where the Nightbot is.
Yeah. Right. I think you'll have to do it from Game Master Rogers Neighborhood thing. I'm not sure. Let me see if Mac. Yeah, Mac. It did not show up.
Yeah, Mac and Shellback are on my channel, so.
Okay. I mean, I can.
You can add them manually.
I can add. Okay.
We got ourselves a comedian.
Well. Okay. No comment.
No map for you.
Shellback trying so hard.
Shellback.
That must be the Japanese spelling.
Okay. All right. Let me make sure that they got on. Okay.
Yeah, make sure you got Mac in there because he did it on mine. So.
Yeah. So we'll give it a little bit. So yeah. Exclamation point wheel. Anybody that wants to get added, and then we'll do that in a couple minutes.
Cool.
Yeah, Hyperborea is nice, like for a setting, because like what you said, it definitely leaves it open, to do what you want. And I mean, there's something to be said. Like there's a lot of settings like that. I think Dragonlance, you're more kind of, you kind of have to follow what's going on because, of things that happen. Yeah, I don't want to, like, I know like a lot of the adventures they made seem kind of railroady, but
kinda.
I know that there's a lot of, like I said, there's like a lot of things that happen in the world that you can't kind of get away from,
Yes.
And I'm not saying that you can't work around it. I mean, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I've done that with, Star Wars, I think is another, good example. So, I think you can run like a Star Wars campaign without being in the Star Wars universe. The only problem that you end up having is if you get to like a super high level, and then, then you got to figure out what to do. Because why wouldn't your characters just go like, one shot Darth Vader or whatever, But, that's all.
In Star Wars, that's an easy answer because it's not their destiny. It's
Sure, right.
Skywalker's destiny.
Right.
That cannot be altered.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's the same thing in any world. I'm powerful enough to go slap down Raceland before he becomes a problem. Why wouldn't I do it?
Right.
Raceland wasn't a problem.
Raceland was he was a very boring two-dimensional character that everybody really thought he was deep and enigmatic. I never understood people's love for Raceland.
At least he wasn't a weird self-insert for his author's fetishes like Elminster is.
It's certainly true, but having met Ed Greenwood on a number of times, that dude is freaking Elminster, and I love him to death.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Yeah. He is definitely the embodiment of that character, or vice versa. I don't know which,
Yeah.
One of them is definitely the embodiment of the other.
Yeah. Now, Yeah, I don't want to get us back on that Dragonlance thing. I didn't say anything during that whole discussion because I don't like Dragonlance. I liked one character in the entire book series. That was Sturm.
Sturm was cool.
And, and that was it. Kenders are annoying. Raceland is boring as hell. He's got a magic flashlight that everybody drools over, and I never understood that shit.
Shirok.
Here you go. Now it's a light. What else can you do, man? Because that's a first level spell. Can we move on?
He cast sleep a couple times.
Yeah, it was so boring. I tried to read it as a kid and I couldn't get into it. And then a friend of mine tried to get me back into it a few years ago. So I bought the original trilogy. I made it, I think, 3 chapters into the first book. And I was like, oh, this is why I stopped reading this. It's gone.
I like some of the concepts of the setting. I like the whole Towers of Sorcery concept. That was great.
I kind of took that idea for my own setting.
Yeah,
I liked
the 3 orders of the knights. Great concepts. It's a great world. The characters were boring as hell to the last.
The world building is better than most of the characters. I will agree with you on that one. Yeah.
One of the books I really enjoyed out of it though was Kaz the Minotaur.
That book is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was because you had such a different perspective. You had a Minotaur that everybody hates. That I don't know. It was different.
Richard Mack wrote a lot of good stuff for that.
And they did.
Well, he wrote Kaz the
Minotaurs.
books.
Yeah.
Riverwind sucked.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Riverwind.
It was boring as hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else on the giveaway for the map? Exclamation point wheel.
I had assumed that we were not eligible.
Once
I will get with the Arduino guys and get a map at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would. They'll have a problem sending us any of that. I don't know if that's in the map set.
I didn't recognize it. I would have to look again because there's a whole lot of maps in that.
It must be a newer.
It
must be a newer map.
It might be something related to the newer Kickstarter too.
No, and if I won, I would feel like an ass. I wouldn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So yes, people in the chat, good luck. Edgelord.
So it looks like we've got 6 people. So we've got I didn't see Edgelord's name on here. Why didn't I see Edgelord's name on here? Did he do the thing?
I'd be surprised if he didn't. Maybe he left the chat.
Maybe he had to go make dinner or something.
He said that he wanted the thing.
You could probably put Edgelord in on his behalf. I don't think that would be wrong. If he wins, though, people might call rigged.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't do that thing. Did he not do the thing? Maybe he didn't.
Maybe he had to poop.
Yeah, he said he wanted to win the thing, didn't he? I don't know. Well, Edgelord, you got a couple more minutes, and then we'll do this. So I think we got 7, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. 7 names of the thing.
It is not in my cube, by the way.
I've always liked the idea of playing in my own world, homebrew, even if it was like adjacent or close to like something else, just because of all the existing lore, like the Star Wars world, is fine, because it's an entire galaxy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff you could. I mean, you could run a Star Wars game on one planet. And I mean, obviously that's not the point, right, of Star Wars. That would kind of be a boring campaign, I think. But you could do it, and there's plenty of stuff to do. Even though in the Star Wars, right. Even though in the Star Wars galaxy, it's like every planet has its own kind of ecosystem and stuff, and then there's no that's a desert planet. There's no planet that has, that's like Earth, right? That has a desert and a forest and some cities, and it's just
one thing.
This planet is all ice. This planet is all desert. This planet is all a city. That's that, right? That's the but you could do a whole Star Wars thing and not even involve,
Mhm.
anything else. So yeah, I think he's on the list.
Okay, I just
Jim
want to make sure it
Samuels.
wasn't case sensitive. That's all.
So no, I'll go through the I'll go through the list of names, and show the wheel in a minute. But yeah, so like other than that, right? Like I've always liked to do, something that's like adjacent, just because like I don't want to run. I don't want to run into anything where like the lore or like the history or things like contradict. And I know Jason and I have had this talk, and I can't remember what it's been predominantly about. But I know we've talked about settings, and there's times where I've always said I'd rather run my own instead of like, because it's overwhelming to run a specific setting and have to kind of, I guess worry is the wrong word, but like worry about what is going on at specific times and in specific places. Whereas if you're in your own world, you don't have to worry about any of that. You could just do stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny when you're talking about that, one thing that I prefer about running in my own world or a very lore light world like Hyperborea is if I get challenged on something, it's probably something I created, and the challenge is like, for lack of a better term, a worthy challenge, right? Whereas if you run in Forgotten Realms and you've got a turbo autist at your table and you're like, oh, well, yeah, well, here we are in Cormyr and, 1376 DR, and I'm having such and such going on. And then they do that. Well, actually, according to this book on chapter whatever, page whatever, that wouldn't be happening at this time. So that won't work. Like, you don't have to deal with that kind of crap. So just in case you ever have to play with like a Redditor or something.
Yeah.
I would hit that person with something heavy.
I agree.
But there's a thing like I think about with playing, like I've talked to guys that are I want to run a game and it's set here and it's an established world. And then they want to make like all these crazy changes. And I'm like, part of it though, like coming in as a player is like, I want to experience that set. If we're going to play Lankmar, I don't need Elemenster rolling in and fucking it all up.
Right.
I don't want that. I want the Lankmar experience. So, but that's a lot. I think that's a lot on the Game Master. Like I remember my buddy Matt was running a bunch of he strung together a crap load of things in our his 5e campaign modules and adventures. But I remember we were going to go to Baldur's Gate, and I was like, listen, I freaking love and I'm not an expert on it, but I'm like, I love Baldur's Gate because I grew up playing Baldur's Gate, the video game. It's my favorite video game of all time. I spent so much time in and around Baldur's Gate. I just love that area of the Forgotten Realms.
Right.
And he felt like this tremendous pressure. He told me later that like he wanted to make it when we got there, like really cool for me, So, and he did a great job, and I had a blast. We had a cameo with Minsk that lasted about one combat where Minsk almost died, and then we never saw him again. It was perfect. And then just through that whole thing, like we kept getting. I tried to derail the campaign towards the end because we were on the road and we were passing. In the distance, we could see Durlag's Tower, and Durlag's Tower is a place you can go in the computer game. And I'm like, I was playing Dwarf, and it's a Dwarven Tower, and I'm like, oh, we need to go there and clear that out. And they're like, no, we need to stay focused. And I'm like, no, we don't. We need to go there. But I got overruled. So yeah, I mean, I like running my own setting. I don't mind playing in established settings, but I don't like. You come in with a certain amount of expectation, or at least I do. I don't want like crazy changes to it because I want to experience that setting.
Okay. So those are the names that are on the list. So we've got Mr. Blafface, Savage Splendor, Chance, Robert Santon, Shellback, Mac Thompson, and Ijima-san. So anybody else exclamation point wheel to get a copy of this this map, Chorinth, this island. There it is again there. So, and then I guess let's see. So there's a little bit of a delay. We'll give a little bit there, and go from there. But yeah, I don't know. I've always liked running, like I said, homebrew, like my Star Wars game. Like I've always wanted to, like when I ran that a couple times, I've kind of made some changes. Oh, Ijimi-san. Okay. That's right. I have the same problem with my last name. Nobody can get it. I think it's simple, but yeah, I make like small changes to the lore, and I mean I'm upfront about that in the beginning, which is why I don't think it's terrible. But Edgelord, you said okay, I'm back. Well, listen, put exclamation point wheel in the chat so you're entered on this drawing,
Made it just
so that everybody can call it a fix if you win. And then yeah. Yeah, never run anything as is my version. Yeah. So hopefully, no, give it to these guys. Okay. All right, will do. Okay, so I'm gonna hit shuffle a bunch of times because Dan said that I should hit shuffle.
It's important.
It's important, otherwise it doesn't shuffle well. Apparently.
Yep.
How many times should I hit it? I hit it like 20 times.
Roger, it's fine.
I think you hit it enough.
Think I hit it enough? All right. We're ready? I'm going to click it. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go. Whee!
What do we got?
Ijimi-san.
Ijima-san. Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Fantastic. Congratulations. We got this map. I don't know if we know you. So didn't think this far ahead about that, did I? So just
So PM Roger with your address because he's
yeah,
going to
PM
ship it to
me
you.
or send me an email, or call me, text me, whatever you want to do.
Show up at his house.
Do you,
He's got a spare bedroom.
Ijimi-san, do you have Discord? Maybe. Also, I'm going to laugh if he's located in Japan. You have to spend like $50 shipping the thing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Didn't think about that one, did you?
No, I should have said continental U.S. That's all right. That's fine. So, yeah.
Okay. So what we should do here is we should plug the CNY Discord, drop a link in there, so that way he's on there, and then he can PM you.
I would love to. Can you do that? Because
yes, I can absolutely do. Well,
for some reason, there it all goes. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
really hoping he was somewhere in the middle of the Gobi Desert.
That'd be funny as shit.
Starlink
it cost me $400.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheaper to fly out there in a plane yourself and hand it to him.
Yeah.
Yep, and mailing it.
What's your Discord name, Ijimi-san?
Yeah, or you can add me. I'm
Judge Roger.
I'm Judge Roger on Discord.
Japan.
So you can message me there if you're good with that. And yeah, there should be an invite actually, Dan, on the.
There is. I can't post it in your chat because I am not a mod.
Oh. Can you post it in the private chat?
Yes, I will do that right now for you.
And then I will put it in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Roger doesn't trust anyone enough to type in chat.
No, I can't. I can only give so much privilege with Restream.
Yeah.
It only lets me do 2. Otherwise, if I try and add a third person, it tells me it wants $20 a month.
Oh, so you're cheap.
So you're
Yes.
cheap.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Legend. I love it.
That was great.
Yes. That's true.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
Just
So,
call it.
okay. Yeah. So how do you guys feel about? So I mentioned my Star Wars game. So my changes that I've made have been I think minor. I mean, I've always done like a usually between episode 4 and episode 5, right? So after the Death Star explodes, it gets blown up, and I've always done it where like nobody really knows about what happened, and it's all like a big like government cover up type of thing, and so like basically the Empire is like trying to like hide it, and like Alderaan is like under quarantine, um, and then basically there's like the rebels that are trying to like tell people like, hey, they're like the Empire has this, this huge weapon that can blow up a planet, and it blew up Alderaan, and then like when but then it's like when people ask about it, you're like, okay, well, where's this? If you got this huge weapon that's the size of a moon, like where is it, and all of this, and then basically they got to say, some guy in a little fighter like blew it up, so like it's there's like a whole like news battle thing going on or whatever, you know what I mean, like nobody knows, it's like a conspiracy theory thing, and that's how I've always run it. I mean, I know sometimes like that doesn't fit like the the narrative thing, you know what I mean, like maybe it doesn't make sense in the context of the Star Wars world or whatever, but I just always like that it's like a secretive thing, that everybody's trying to cover up like both sides of it.
I set mine just after Jedi, and I ran the Weston Games D6 Star Wars, and they had a planets book, and in that planets book they had a whole sector laid out, and it took place in that sector, so I didn't have to come up with that. I used that sector. The closest they came to ever dealing with or having contact with characters from the movie is one of the cantinas they were in had the Bith band from the Cantina band from Tatooine playing there. That was it. Like we never crossed the streams as far as meeting the main characters, and they had the deal that Sector was under Imperial control still from a Moth, and they had to deal with that, and their goal was to liberate it.
If you ever watched Andor, both seasons of it, I think it's, for me, like one of the perfect timelines to run a Star Wars campaign. And just watching Andor alone, if you've seen it, it is, to me, it feels like a D&D campaign. I mean, they're literally like that you've got this basically rebel unit that their whole thing is about sabotaging the Empire stuff and stealing from them, like from their treasury, and there's just a lot. I don't know, man. I really, really liked it. It was one of my favorite
I
periods.
saw the first season. I liked it.
And it leads up
Rogue
to
One's awesome.
Yeah, so you have Andor, then Andor 2, and then Rogue One, and then that leads into the New Hope. So that whole stretch up before it, the Empire hasn't taken over everything yet. They're still building, but they're really making moves to do stuff, and it leaves a lot of opening for a DM if you wanted to, hey, we've got we've found out that the Empire is trying to do this here, and we want you guys to go and disrupt it, or we want you to break in there and steal something, or there's just a lot of that. You get into the later periods, and everybody sees it as battling stormtroopers and Jedi's fighting and whatnot, which is Star Wars, but I think there's a lot more to it than just that.
Well, that was always a nice thing. I mean, you could. We played the campaigns we typically played, you were part of the Rebel Alliance, whether that was a super formal thing or not, or you could be a fringe character. Like I had a character that was a bounty hunter, and just ran around collecting bounties. So it gave you that option. I mean, even if you dove into the Jedi stuff, you could do that. Depending on what era you were playing in, or maybe because it was always room to have a couple of guys that escaped. I mean, we were playing before there was an Order 66, so but like they escaped the Purge, and they weren't like Yoda running around. They were like basically probably a slightly above Padawan. Uh, but they had force ability, so they could do some stuff. Fuck, that's gonna make me want to play Star Wars. Every time I talk about Star Wars role playing game, I want to play it.
Love you too, Greg.
Right.
When we ran a ton of WEG Star Wars in college, and when I was running it, I ran it during the Old Republic time. So that was a lot of fun because the KOTOR games were big back then and were awesome. So
yeah, the Old Republic, we only have the movies that we have, so we don't really, thank God they haven't made Old Republic movies yet. It's coming. But man, there's so much really cool stuff in the KOTOR era, the early Republic or the High Republic era. Just, man, there's so much you can do with that and never have to worry about Emperors or Darth Vader or anything like that.
Yep.
Very cool stuff.
Well,
I don't do evil. But for Edgelord, the Sith were very powerful then. So if you wanted to do a Sith campaign, you could do that easily and fit it in there.
I know where you're going when you say, thank God they haven't done it. And if you look at any of the prequel or the follow-up trilogy, they suck. And if you watch like The Mandalorian,
sucks.
I mean, the first season was okay, but then it just kind of went downhill. And I wasn't
first season, second season was okay. Third season.
But that said, Andor and Rogue One were amazing. If they want to follow that formula, I would watch anything they put out.
Yeah,
because it was great.
I liked Rogue One. I thought it was great.
I just like the more serious take on it.
Yeah, then we, with whatever the one with all the witches that was terrible.
I didn't even watch it. I didn't even watch it.
But because that's their idea of what the Old Republic should be, and I'm just like, good Lord, that's I don't want them to touch it. They're going to. It belongs to them. They have every right to do it. Yeah. I just wish that they would hire writers that weren't worried about pushing whatever message they want. Make a Star Wars movie.
Right, good story. Star Wars stories.
That's all I want.
I didn't originally have any interest in watching Andor. I still haven't watched Andor yet, but I mean, a handful of people have told me that it's good. But originally, I didn't want to watch it because, like, I already know what happens to the guy. Like, I mean, I feel that like there's no
That's why you have to break away from characters you've already seen. You can't have Chewie show up on screen, and or the Solo movie. There's no danger to anybody that you already know because you have seen them in their 30s.
Right, because you know how they die or whatever or later. Yeah, so it's like, well, they get out of this. So there's no like, oh my God, Andor's going to die because, spoilers, we may or may not already know, where he dies.
And Mac Thompson, I totally agree. There is so much lore that they put into Star Wars tour. Good Lord, you can do a lot of that stuff. All the worlds you explore, all the different branch lines for the quests. I like playing Jedi, and the Jedi starting planet, I can't remember what it is, but that prologue mission is so freaking cool that, man, I would love to run that as an adventure. It's just a blast. The only one that I didn't really like was a smuggler. I thought it was kind of lame. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
They should do a movie with Chewbacca where he's on Cern Pedal fighting Yuzan Vong, because that has a great ending. And if you haven't read New Jedi Order Vector Prime, then you won't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have not.
Boom.
I was like, isn't he holding up a Star Destroyer or something?
He spoiler alert for a book that came out in 1999.
20 years ago,
Chewbacca dies because Yuzan Vong drops a moon on him to kill him.
That's right.
Which is badass.
That is one tough dude. That's right, Mac. Tython is the planet. You are correct.
Yeah, Tython.
Nice.
But that doesn't happen because they threw out all of the expanded universes canon.
Kathleen
because
Kennedy's
stupid.
famous quote: "We didn't have comics or books to look through, and we just had to make it as we were going along." Well done. Yes, you are clearly the right person to lead Lucasfilms.
Yep.
Back to homebrewing, because that is what the topic was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I haven't given my 2 cents in.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
When I run, I almost entirely do homebrew. I really like playing in the Forgotten Realms. I like to run in the Forgotten Realms, but if I do it, it's a lot like what Stan was talking about when they were, they went to Baldur's Gate. They met Mitch. He was there for 2 minutes, and then he's gone. You can meet Alminster or Blackstaff. You can meet those guys, but your interactions are going to be very minor with them because the story should be about you, not
Sure.
them. Really, because I'm thinking about it, I think really the only exception to that was when I was playing Shadowrun, or when I was running Shadowrun. When I lived in Germany and I was running Shadowrun, it took place in Berlin. And then when I got transferred to Fort Lewis, it's an hour away from Seattle. So of course we all played in Seattle. And because for me especially, but for my whole crew, the weekend would come and we would go to Seattle. And we'd like have the map. Oh, this is where the Renruko arcology is, or here's the Shawi's nuke plant is over here, and so that was really cool for us. So the Shadowrun, because it takes place in these well-known major cities, for the most part. There's one in Denver. Anyway, none of that stuff matters. Shadowrun was the only time that I was ever like, okay, you're in Seattle. It is 2052. Here's what's going on. Because I just wanted to follow that storyline. But Dungeons and Dragons and everything, or like when I was running the Shadowrun, Chubby Shadowrun, it was in Skyrim, but nothing that I ran had anything to do with the Skyrim storyline or anything like that. They don't need Dragonborn. You don't even need dragons. So, yeah, I really like using settings that are well made because I love Greyhawk. I love the Forgotten Realms. But I don't want to be chained down by, and I think that's what Mike said earlier. You don't want to be held down by the lore that's there. And, Dan talked about, well, actually, that's whenever I start running, whenever I ran Star Wars, I always told them, right now, the battle against the Empire is going on. You're not involved. You are way far away. You're not going to be at Yavin 4. You don't even know what's going on. You're out here dealing with this. It's not difficult to do that, and it always ended up being a good time. So I guess I'm doing okay.
Chubby thinks that he imagines all
intended.
your games are in the woods.
That is correct. Chubby, you saying that, I think I need to learn the rules for A&A. I should run that next year at Rogers Con.
I think you should run an all Ranger game.
That would be badass.
That'd be awesome. I'd play that.
Challenge accepted. Yes,
Roger, how many games can I play in a staff?
Oh my God. Technically, to be staff, you need to work. You need to volunteer to work at least like 3 sessions. So,
okay.
I mean, if we do 3 days, and there's 3 sessions on each of the 3 game sessions each of those days, that's 9. So you could play 6.
All right, sweet. All right, I'm there for that.
For people out there, if you don't own this book yet, you should.
That's the one Chubby product that I don't have.
Yes,
me too.
I've never seen that before.
Chubby sent me the PDF as kind of a thanks for singing his praises with Shadowrun. He sent me the PDF, and I read it, and I was like, holy crap! I need to own this. So I bought the book. It's really, really good.
Now I got to look that up, Jason.
And the Ranger in it is, yes.
Agile says he's got a
rule
rule set where it's designed to be all Rangers. Interesting.
Let's talk, sir. I am down for this.
I want to be in on this Jason All Ranger game. I think this will be a blast.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, there's definitely you brought up a good point about I don't even know if I would call it homebrewing, right? But like I've ran like some post-apocalyptic stuff and have just took the easy way out. Like you said, this is where we are, right? So I'm in Utica, New York. Spoilers. I just doxed myself, but who cares? Like I've ran, and no one cares. But like, when I've ran post-apocalyptic stuff, I've ran some things where I've just said, okay, we're in Utica. This is where we
Yeah.
are, or whatever. Just because, and I don't know, like, I don't even see that as like homebrewing a world. I just see that as, I don't know, laziness maybe, or not laziness, but like I could tell you, hey, I know this gas station over here. I know where, what's in these woods over here. I know what these factories down on Broad Street used to be. I kind of know what's in some of these buildings here and there. You know what I mean? You have a better, a better idea of what's around and stuff, just because it's familiar surroundings. And I think it's easier to get people into, because people will know like where stuff is. They'll know where to, like locals or whatever will say,
When I was
oh, I
living in-
can go here and do this. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was living in Alaska, we had a DM that ran a biblical post-apocalypse. The four horsemen are coming, and our characters were in Fairbanks, where we lived, and it was awesome because we're all like, okay, I'm going to go over here to the gun and ammo shop, and I'm getting everything. There was a dentist office across the street. I went over and raided their med cabinet. So it was like, the DM just told us where we are, and since we already knew the town, everyone was like, go, go, go. The demons are coming. We got to stock up. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
So
And you wouldn't do that stuff. Like, would you have thought to go to a dentist office or whatever? Like, had you not had it in your head that that's across the street from this place?
No.
Right. So it kind of opens up, that sort of thing. Where you're like, oh, this is, just by putting it in proximity, you go to places out of convenience rather than, setting based stuff.
Yeah, I ran D20 Modern, and it was set in Maine when I ran it. Like we had a shootout in the main mall. Like, and me and one of the guys, I ran the game. One of the guys that played, we worked there together before for years. That's how we met, and it was freaking awesome. Like it was such a familiarity. Like I had the map of the city of Portland.
Yeah,
we were in and around Portland a lot. Then we'd branch out and go other places. And, some of it I made up, but like it was kind of like much like almost like a Stephen King thing, where it's like it's based here, but then there's parts that aren't really here, and that was cool. That was fun.
Yeah, when I ran World of Darkness, it was all based on Chicago because I'm in the suburbs. And then when I ran Modifius Fallout 2D20, which, by the way, 2D20 sucks. I hate it. It was post-apocalyptic Chicago because that's what I knew. So, like, yeah, that for things like that, totally just, run what you know.
Mike, you're the only one that hasn't doxed yourself. Do you want to give away where you live too? Or
guys, my YouTube name was at Dan Tesh for like 14 years.
Agile wants to know what the first name of the guy in Fairbanks was. Jason, I don't know if you want to.
I do not remember. I would tell you if I can remember. It was 2015, 2016, and I'm lucky if I can remember a week ago. I'm sorry, man. I don't remember. I can see him clear as day in my head, but I can't remember his name. He worked at the comic shop with me. That's how we met.
Yeah, Edgelord. So the last Call of Cthulhu game was Buffalo 1920. That's probably the last time he ran Call of Cthulhu was in 1920.
Chance, these guys that aren't from here don't even know what Riggies are. Right, Stan?
I know what they are now.
Yeah.
I did not have Riggies while I was there.
Oh, you missed out.
You missed out, my man.
I cannot wait to come back and have it again.
I'm going for the game day in December. I will have Riggies in December.
I think I convinced.
I might be there too.
I think I convinced the whole table to have Riggies when we all sat down for dinner, and they all liked it.
Yeah.
Really good.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You could blame Roger for not having Riggies at lunchtime, though.
I blame Roger for everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's easy that way.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
blame me for not having the lunchtime. Yeah.
I in fact, like I dropped a mug and broke it yesterday, and I was like, "Fucking Roger." So,
I still,
Yeah,
I
game,
still,
game set
I,
dog.
I still stand by a bowl of Riggies with a fork and a bowl is less messy than picking up a burger with your hands.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Savage, that's the plan for next year. We're gonna do a dinner. I'm trying to do some things, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do like Riggies, greens, half moons, probably an antipasto, some tomato pie. Do just like a taste of Utica dinner thing. It's gonna be interesting. So,
wait, it's
Yeah.
chicken and rigatoni?
Yes,
well, yeah,
in a
Chicken
vodka-based
and
red sauce.
a vodka
Oh.
sauce, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, it's really good.
I'm here for
Good,
that.
man.
And you should get it spicy.
Fix
If,
that.
Yes,
Of course.
Oh,
you
Yeah.
really?
No, Mama didn't raise no bitch.
if you don't get it hot, you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, that restaurant had the absolute largest slices of jalapeno peppers in those Riggies I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah
they
you,
were like
you pulled a
freaking-
monster
they
out.
were giant.
Yeah.
I mean, they were bigger than $50.
Yeah,
A
they were.
tomato pie is an abomination before the face of God.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Utica-
disgusting.
I'm sorry, Utica.
I know what that is.
Riggies are from Utica, and that is awesome. But Utica doesn't do pizza. I'm sorry.
Utica doesn't do pizza. I like
No.
the pizza here.
Utica pizza
I like the
sucks.
pizza here. All right, we'll have the we'll have the Utica pizza debate at the convention. We can do that then.
Oh, so
Um,
we could just all look at shitty pizza.
I'll drive out and bring some Lou Malnati's and Giordano's so y'all can enjoy some real fucking pizza.
There you go.
Will the
What?
hotel let us use their ovens?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Well, Andrew was just kind of walking around in the kitchen like he owned the place, so maybe he'll just throw them in there for us.
Maybe that's possible. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But oh Jesus. No, don't no.
What?
Don't believe everything you read just because some southerner edited Wikipedia. We'll have to have a chat about that, Agile. Bring
I'm
you up
not
to
exactly
speed.
sure about the best pizza in the country being in Niagara Falls either, but if you say so.
No,
At
it's-
least,
On
you
what
know.
planet? I can tell
Yeah,
you
I
who has
don't-
the worst. It's St. Louis.
I think Edgeler's been drinking a little too much of their Blantons tonight.
He's definitely had a lot of Blantons
Yeah.
tonight.
Jeff had Professor DM on Sunday
That
night.
is not Wikipedia.
And-
I'm sorry. I got him mad now. I'm sorry, Agile. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you, sir.
And Professor DM had a bottle of Blanton's on the shelf behind him. I was like, hey, it made me think I'd slurred. So
I'm just saying that, tomato pie is a Utica thing. I'm not going to. Anyway,
But just like Utica has Riggies. Buffalo, you have Buffalo Trace. That's all you need.
yeah.
You got
Yeah.
Buffalo. So we get our Blantons, our Eagle Rare, our Buffalo Trace. You give us the good booze.
There you go, Dave Portnoy.
Bring
Yes,
some George C. Stagg.
yes, he did. Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it for world building, huh?
Well, I mean, food is part of world building.
Food is part of
It
world
is.
building. I was considering that. I didn't know how long of a conversation.
I mean, just think in 5e you can have tacos, and they have sushi.
Yeah,
Muffins.
the orcs in 5e, 5.5e are actually known for their tacos,
Yeah,
and the dwarves for their
Yeah.
For
bakery.
their muffin.
Yep, for their bakery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
There's sushi on that table too.
Yep.
I mean, there's something there for everybody.
Man.
Your standard medieval type dishes,
Yeah.
like sushi and tacos.
Like sushi and tacos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to add about the world building?
Well, in about 6 weeks, if you guys have me back on, I'll be able to show the copy of Ambition and Avarice I just bought after drive-through takes forever to print it.
No, Dan, haven't you heard the chubby funster trick?
What's that?
You order
five.
5 copies of something from drive-thru and they ship it to you right away.
What do I need 5 copies of something from drive-thru for?
If it's that amazing, and if you love Chubby
Actually,
and want to support him, then you buy 5 copies and you give 4 away to people so that they won't play his stuff.
I have generated many Chubby bucks. However, I did actually just buy 10 of these at cost because James Spahn is a very nice guy.
That's right.
So
That's awesome. So yeah. What else? Anything else on the what are we talking about? Homebrewing a world building. Is that what we're talking about today? World building?
Yes.
Sorry guys, medication's wearing off. I'm surprised they made it this far. World building. Do it. I really would encourage people to try and create your own world too.
Yeah, just start small. Like
Just
village,
start small
town, and build up from there and have fun with
you know,
it.
I'd love to do that on stream at some point. I don't know if it'll be here, if you guys want in on that or what, but do like a thing where we randomly generate like 19 hexes, right? Like a nice little hex flower with a starting town in the middle, and just kind of randomly generate the terrain and then kind of build some adventures out. Maybe do a couple episodes or something where we build something. Yeah, no, Chubby, if you paid $300 for Gods of the Forbidden North, then and you got a year of gameplay out of it, that's really good.
Right. A weekly game for like 5, 6, 7 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of entertainment for a lot of people.
Right. Because even if it was 3 people, $100 for a year, that's, if you played 52 weeks, it's $2. You know what I mean? If you played every other week, that's $4 a session or whatever, you know, with 3 people. I mean, that's fantastic. That's a great deal, you know? So
yeah, I agree with that. I am going to try running Gods of the Forbidden North, but I'm going to run it with Hyperborea instead of OSE. Because the characters will be a little bit stronger, and I think they'll be able to tackle things a little bit better in there.
Yeah.
And Hyperborea is awesome.
Yeah, look at Roger do math. Yeah, I can do math. I'm capable of doing math. I don't even have a degree in it like somebody here does.
That's me. You know what the fun thing about a math degree is? People think you're smart. I'm possibly one of the stupidest people I know, but I do a lot of dumb shit. But people think you're smart when you have a math degree.
So yeah, that was our talk on world building and a lot of food building. But try it. Definitely try it. Like I said, maybe we'll do it on this stream. We'll talk about that. Mac, I'm gonna go fall over.
Hope you feel better, buddy.
We'll see what happens. Oh my God, I can't click on the because people keep talking. Okay. Yes, y'all be good. Absolutely. Yeah. It's probably for the best, Jeff. Probably for the best. So yeah. So that's that. We all good? Anybody else got anything on world building? Did I ask that already?
No, but I am seriously thinking about my Ranger one shot. I am going to do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You do all Rangers?
That will be a lot of fun. Yes, that will be a lot of fun.
6 Rangers?
You can just call the session Rangers Lead the Way.
I like it. I'll have to find somebody that can do the scroll for me.
Yeah.
That'll be badass.
Yeah.
That breaks the Lone Wolf Ranger rule, but I'll be okay. It'll be a one shot. They come together once to defeat a great evil or what have you.
Yeah. They each like come together because there's they each have their own section or whatever, their own hexes that they go, and there's some, evil seeping in from
this is my game.
Central location. Sorry.
You're the one that thinks that Ranger shouldn't be a class. You don't get any say in this.
He wants 2 classes. Okay. He wants fighter and caster.
True. Okay, so we'll see you guys on the next one. Next week, we're going to talk about this backstage a little bit before I pass out. But next week, we're talking about games that we want to play, games that we want to get to the table, games that we want to play more of, things like
I
that.
got stacked.
We're gonna
Chance you are not invited.
we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk in the back. Oh, Chance, you ruined that.
Get wrecked, Chance.
You're out.
We're gonna talk about it backstage of how exactly we want to do it, whether it's stuff that we've never run that we want to get to the table, or both. I'd like to separate it, but we'll talk about that. So yeah. So on that, no, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. We'll talk on that. So take care, everybody.
They're all.
Bye.
You know.